how's it going, David? Man, we're going live here. This is going to be, I don't know what episode it's going to be when it comes out, but it'll be something cool. But going right into it, man. Guys, make sure you got your Corona mask. I got my this is a custom made, as you can see, and it's actually not paper. It's actually like it seems like one of those things that you wear when you go snowboarding, but it's a little thinner. And yeah, man, it's pretty cool. But you can wash it too. But I'm going to take this off because I probably sound like shit. And
no, that's just your voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true, man. How like when you do these so much, do you I don't know if do you watch your stuff after? Do you watch?
I have to, unfortunately. Yeah.
So you watch back and it's like, man, I sound like that, and
that's how I sound.
Or when you notice, I'm like, damn, man, shut the fuck up, like, and let the guest speak. It's like
I talk too damn much.
Yeah,
that's because you want to be in control of the entire thing. It's like this is your podcast is your baby, so it's like, look, I'm gonna fuck this chicken. You just watch the feathers fly.
Yeah, I'll move. I got your double feed there. So, all right, what is the same game? You probably can't see that, but let me see. Oh man, are you still there? Sorry about that.
I'm still here.
I had a double feed up there. You'll see in the actual video. There's a double feed in the corner there. But yeah, man.
I'll just hide behind my pop filter.
But yeah, man. It's been for everybody out there that's worrying about it's the first time I speak about this Corona stuff, and man, we're 8 hours away from all that. And Japan, they just kind of panic over everything, man. Like everything is a panic and everything is an issue. And my wife is like panicking about toilet paper. I'm like, dude, I slept in the middle of Iraq in a tent next to burn pits, burning animals, people, and all types of shit. Like my meter of give a fuck is like kind of
you have a very low level of give a fuck.
Like, okay, dude, whatever, man. Like,
it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and that's the thing. No one. I mean, here at least things seem to be okay. I just I stopped by Target today because I was looking for a new office chair.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't. They still had all their groceries. I went to Kroger last night, and it still had tons of stuff. So at least here, at least in this area, no one is freaking out yet. I do know, at least anecdotally speaking, that there are stores that are completely running off the shelves with, toilet paper and bread and milk. And then one of my friends from Scotland, she posted stores that had like nothing on the shelves except for like 4 or 5 packs of toilet paper. Like everything was gone. I'm like, what are you guys going to do with all of that toilet paper?
Hey, Dave, hold on real quick, man. Just talk to the people. I'll be right back.
Oh God, here we go. Well, this is
hey, just promote your stuff. I gotta pick up an engine block outside.
Oh, you guys go like literally pick up an engine block. This is gonna be crazy. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be weird now because you have a podcaster on the podcast of another podcaster. So we're just gonna act like this is one of my podcasts. So right now, what you're seeing me broadcast through is my new rig. I love it a lot. Tune in to Night Magic Media. Just look us up on Facebook, Night Magic Media. We're going to be switching our stream from Facebook over to YouTube. Not that you really care about that because you're not watching this for me. You're watching this for Donnie. But he should be on there too sometime. I'll be talking about... I'm a home theater enthusiast, firearms guy. I do the racy, drifty stuff with a Mercedes. So that's pretty cool. I own a company called Drift Taxi. So if you guys are interested in seeing really big cars with a lot of torque go sideways with like 53 people loaded into them, then check out Drift Taxi because that's what we do best. This is pretty much how I stream, except I'm not in a little box inside of a bigger box. I'm normally the bigger box, streaming at 1080p 60 frames per second because I can. And yeah, check out the new keyboard. This is a very tiny thing that came with my new rig. It's a 27-inch iMac. It's very nice. Apple fanboys rejoice. My PC friends will look at me and go, really? You bought a Mac? Yes, I did. Because it's Unix-based, and I'm a Linux fanboy. And, yeah, that's about it. This is going to get so weird when he comes back. He has no idea what I've been talking about. I could talk literally about anything because this is just not my podcast, so I don't have to worry about losing listeners because I speak about religion or politics or my lack thereof on either. I could talk about guns. Guns in Japan are just really not a thing, so I should talk about those. AR-15s are fantastic. A lot of people will sit there and say, "Oh, I prefer 2.23 over 5.56." I said, "Oh, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about." No one. I load a 2.23 into your 5.56 rifle or a 5.56 into your 5.56 rifle. You pull the trigger, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's the whatchamacallit Howsy Diggy 3000." Shut up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You non-shooting motherfucker. I swear to God, people. I'm getting mad thinking about this hypothetical situation that I have no control over. Oh, look who's back.
So what are you talking about, man?
Nothing.
Give me blacklisted and shit? Or?
I was trying to. I said, the thing I said before you came by was, because guns are such a taboo thing in Japan. I was talking about the 2.23 versus the 5.56 and an AR-15, and how some people will prefer to shoot 2.23 versus 5.56 or 5.56 versus. I'm like, shut the fuck! You don't know what the hell you're talking about. If I blind loaded your magazine and said, "Here, are you shooting 2.23 or 5.56?" You won't know.
Yeah, like all those gonna kill you anyway. So it's
just gonna poke a little hole in you.
One that says a big exit. Yeah.
Yes.
You see, like the coolest thing is to show people like the exit wound chart. Like it looks this small going in, but it looks this big coming out.
Yes, and that's why. And one of the things, like, so I went nasty. I bought an AK-47, shot about 1,500 rounds through it, and then decided I'm going to sell my AR-15 because I just like my AK more. It's just so much cooler to me, and it's probably because I had 4 years of shooting on the M4 platform.
Yeah, that's actually. I mean, let me roll right into it, man. That's one of the things I actually do miss. I haven't shot a weapon since 2011.
That sounds terrible.
It's been a long. It's been shit, man. What's that, like a decade?
Almost, yeah. So you're gonna come visit the States, and the first thing you're gonna do is go to a range.
Yeah, I gotta go shoot, man. Like going from shooting I went from shooting saws to 50 cals, like in the span of like 6 months to like I got back and that earthquake happened, and that was just like I haven't shot any. I shoot like little games. This is kind of cool, man. Like you went to you ever heard of a round one? They have them here in Japan. It's it's like an adult / kids amusement park indoors. Right. Everything like gaming, soccer, like it's just overall gaming. If you look it up, you'll see what it is. It's a pretty cool thing. We took my kids there, and they had this little thing where you shoot air pellets. Right. And like I'm actually like I'm getting the weapon right, and
you're like trigger control, getting your breathing.
So you see the rookies, they got their whole fucking finger in the trigger guard pulling like this, and I just got the one pad, and like the first 3 shots I knocked the thing down. They're like, "Oh, so you go." I'm like, "Dude, this basic, right?"
Yeah.
And I'm not even a marksman, believe it or not. I never got marksman.
I'm a marksman.
Yeah, I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids, so I'm a marksman there.
Yeah, you can you can throw a slipper and hit a kid from across the room. That's a talent I haven't mastered yet. So
yeah, but hey guys, for running out, what I had to go pick up was a $5,000 engine block, and I didn't want to miss that shipment. So I had my Nino Brown cameras on right here, my drug dealer like Scarface cameras. So I seen a guy walking around, and I was like, I gotta get that. But that's live, man. It's not going to be edited out too, because I want to hear what Dave said and everything. And Dave is one of the only people I can say, hey man, just talk, and it's all good.
And like, I just go. I have nothing else to do. I'm like whatever.
Like
okay.
Instantly. So hey man, so your new setup there, like are you from a new setup right now, or are you?
Yeah, this is all new setup. This is a lot of fun. So
tell us about it.
Yeah, I've got the 2 microphones here. I got the this thing going on here where I can just be like, hey, I bet this sounds really freaking weird.
You see like mine? I pushed mine all the way over.
Yeah.
It's behind your picture. You can't really see it, but because this I didn't disable it, so I got 2 mics right now. So if I have it too close, it'll do that. The same thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You sound like you're talking in an arena. So yeah, I've got the 2 mics going to the mixer, going into the back of the new iMac, which is a great device so far. Okay. I don't hate it. I thought I would. That was like something I was very much concerned about, because the cost of the cost of entry into a new Apple machine is ridiculous. So it was one of those things I was just like, this is not this better be cool. And so far, yeah, it's worked out really well. There are very odd things you have to do if you want to broadcast from a Mac because unlike PC, like with Windows or Linux, it doesn't have by default your Mac won't listen from the sound card.
Right.
So you have to use something like Soundflower, or what I use is this iShowU audio capture thing, and that works really well for getting that. The only thing is, once you have to select the iShowU as your output device, and once you do that, you can't adjust the volume. So if you have done the thing that I've done a few times where I'm getting ready to stream and I have the volume cranked because I'm listening to music, then you switch to iShowU. It's just, you get this scream, and you can't turn the volume down unless you unselect it, turn the volume down, then reselect it. So it's a little bit of a learning curve with that. I don't know if Soundflower is the same way. It probably is, but I mean, I'm getting used to it. I'm using OBS instead of XSplit now, which sucks because I paid for a year of XSplit. But other than that, no. I mean, other than that, it's just another computer. It's just like, if you're a Japanese car guy and you buy your first German car, it's not you're not going to not be able to drive it because it's German. Yeah. It's just a different platform to accomplish the same goal. So
and you still can have sex in the back seat, so it's all good.
Yeah, I mean? Absolutely. It's a little difficult in a GT3 with the scaffolding back there. You have to get creative, but
Or you could just, like, I've done it before where I had a chick on my 240. Remember that? The 240
oh my god!
Yeah, she was holding on to the wing, and I was like, yeah, not too hard because it's fixed with like some L brackets from like Home Depot. It's like the woodwork brackets. Yeah, dude. I mean,
it's like I'm using like self-tapping screws.
Yeah. Well, I remember that, dude, because it was like the L brackets, and I didn't know, like, it's like the wing, the hole mounts. So it's like the stanchion of the wing is here. And the L bracket is here, but there's like the wing is not touching anything. It's just like it's levering. It's
it's just there.
It's just,
and you're like, don't pull on that too hard. Those are very inexpensive brackets.
She was like holding on to the back of the wing, and I was like, this is a true story though, man. It's like
those are the best stories when people are just like, "There's no way." And you're like, "Dude, no. Yeah. Hold on, I got the video. Let me get my phone."
Well, back then there was no shit. That was like the best, man. Like, we did a lot of stupid shit, and we didn't have phones.
Dude, it was cameras. That's why none of us ever went to jail. Yeah. Remember that time we were driving the Cavalier, and I freaking passed between two cars? They were like one in this lane, one in this lane. I just went, all across the dotted. If we had cameras, if people had iPhones and shit, dude, I would be in prison right now.
Yeah, man. But this is crazy, man. Like
we did the dumbest things because we were. I was at the time I was 19 or 20. I was invincible. You were what, like 23, 24, 25?
No, I wasn't that old, man. Shit, I didn't join the military until I was 5, 4 or something like that.
Yeah, okay, so, wow, yeah. So you're only like what, 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me?
Yeah, I'm 36.
Something like that.
Yeah, 36. So I turned 37 in 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, so 2 years then, because damn. If you turn 37 in 2 weeks, I turned 36 in August, so a year and a bit.
Yeah. So I was like just walking around when you were coming out. So
yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy, man. That's great. Like me, but between you, man, my wife's we born in the same year. She's 1983, I'm 83.
Oh wow.
She's I'm older than her, so of course I boss her around and stuff. So she's born. I'm March. She's September. So it's pretty cool, man.
I've got a bit more of a gap between myself and my girlfriend. I was born in August of 84. She was born in February of 95. Oh. So there's a bit of a distance.
Yeah, you were like, say, hey man, like General the G.I. Joe. She's like, what's that?
There are things that I sometimes attribute to a generational gap between us. However, it's more of a cultural thing. It's just because in Scotland she didn't have exposure, especially things revolving around black culture. Right. So like she had no idea what like In Living Color was, or like Martin, or things that like you and I would take for granted. Right. You're just like, what? You've never heard of In Living Color? You don't know? You didn't know that Jim Carrey was at first called James Carrey?
Right.
Like,
right.
Like that's how he got his start, was on In Living Color.
Yeah, my question of bringing up that did help. Like, has she seen Full Metal Jacket yet?
I know that's so. That was one of the things that. So there's a lot of movies she hasn't seen. She has not seen Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
But we were actually laughing because, well, I was laughing. She was very serious face. Because there's movies that I believe she should have seen that she hasn't seen, like The Matrix.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, wow, you haven't seen The Matrix, so that's something. I have those on Blu-ray. We'll have to sit down.
And you're like doing a sideways face, like really, like you know, it's like I got to think about this relationship, man. Like it's kind of like this is like we're in the same. We're black guys dating women that are dating or married to women that are not in relationships with women that are not black. So it's like, you know, we do certain things and everything, even though you're like white anyway. But it's like,
I knew you were gonna think. I was like, I wonder how long it's gonna take him to poke a rib. There we go.
Yeah. But no, man. It's like, you know, you date them, and marry them, and it's like they bring up things like that they think you should know from their culture. I'm like, yeah, I don't care about the latest gossip and who cheated. Like that's a big thing in Japan. Who cheated on who? Like,
wow.
Do I know them? No, I don't give. Am I dating him? No. So anyway, and then like, you know, movies. I'll be like, hey, you seen Top Gun? Like, man, put that on a list. Have you seen this? And like now we got Netflix and Hulu, but she wants to watch like the basic stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm paying $30 a month, and you want to watch like basic shit that you can watch for free.
Yeah.
And Maddie, I'm pretty sure she's more in tune with the, she got your movie. I'm pretty sure she's watching movie theater with you.
Yeah. Most movies I watch, she watches with me. There are very few. If any of the movies have like explicit gore, she doesn't want to watch like those, or if they're overly violent, she's just not into that stuff. So like Sucker Punch or any of the Quentin Tarantino things, she's not really going to be into.
Pulp Fiction is.
She hasn't seen Pulp Fiction.
It's not. Pulp Fiction's not too bad.
There's a couple of scenes that you go, oh, okay, that they showed that.
They showed the guy get. I can't remember when the original, did they show the dude getting shot in the head in the back seat?
Yeah.
Or like the brains blowing out.
Yeah.
Because it's been a lot of versions since that came out. So like
there've been some edits.
Yeah, some edits.
Director's cut. Like extended cut, the
unrated
cut.
The rape scene, I remember I was watching AFN. I believe the rape scene wasn't there. And when what's that? Ving Rhames was being raped in the basement.
Oh no! Yeah. I don't remember that scene. That might really? Just be from your imagination.
No, he was getting raped.
You might have just been thinking about that one, like while you were walking back from checking on that engine.
No, you're joking, right? You definitely seen it. Yeah.
You might have. That might be something that you just thought of like just now, as we were talking about that. You know who would look hot?
with a ball in his mouth. a gag ball, man.
I'm into that shit. Yeah, I'm into some Ving Rhames as BDSM.
Yeah, dude, like this, like right in the middle of this, dude. Like you're like pretty much one of the only guys, man, where like the conversation just is all over the fucking place, and it's entertaining. Like everybody else, I have most guests on, and I'm pretty sure it's the same when you do like we're used to like talking, we're used to being on the camera and doing all the videos. Yes. When you get somebody in here, they're like, "Can I blink?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you can breathe." Like,
please. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah. So that's kind of why I end up with my guests. Nothing against them, because there is most people first time YouTube, first time podcast, first time with the lights in their face. So they're like nervous, and it, about an hour, so they'll loosen up, and then at that point we're like, we're about done anyway.
Yeah, it takes that. That's why you have to try to have guests on more than once. Like
yeah. Because the second time is yeah.
Absolutely, the second time is better. The third time's better than that. And with getting Maddie on the podcast, I told her to just treat it like we're having a conversation. Don't even worry about the camera. It's that camera is just there. It's not even on. Don't worry about it.
That's true, man. So what I'm gonna do for mine is just like kind of like I tell my, just like you told Maddie, I tell my not customers, man, my guests. Well, some of them are customers, but I tell the guests like, hey man, it's not an interview. I'm gonna bring up questions naturally, just answer normally. But what I'm gonna do for my setup here, I'm actually for the guests, I'm gonna turn it sideways so we can actually, because if we sitting like this, they automatically gonna look straight. Like at the monitor, because there's monitors all around the room. So they're gonna look straight at the camera, so it's like 5 places where they can see their face. But I'm gonna have the chairs turned sideways, so we actually looking like like this.
Yeah.
So our sectors of fire are crossing, because that's the effective way to kill the enemy instead of shooting straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's military stuff.
Yeah, you got a taut gun.
Yeah, man.
Hit him from 2 angles, man. Hit him from 2 angles, 3 if you're lucky.
Yeah, I was studying my tactical like breach entry stuff. Like I watched Top Gun a lot for that because they did a lot of that in that movie. Yeah, it's like you're like
I was just like, all right, cool. So how do I end this call? Is there a button? Yeah, there's a button. I'm gonna go ahead and click that button.
Yeah. Hey man, like actually, what did you like? You were infantry, correct?
No, man. I went in open contract with supply,
right.
And then I wound up being I did a lot of stuff. I did everything except supply. So I went military police augment with Camp Guard. I did AFIC. I did crisis response force, and then my last 6 months in the Marine Corps, I was a barracks manager.
So that when you were at what was the name of that place by the Pentagon that you were at?
I was at Henderson Hall.
So Henderson Hall, like you were a cop there, or?
Yeah, military police augment with crisis response force and what did I just say? AFIC, Armed Forces Inauguration Committee, which is you just basically doing the parades with the president.
Right. Yeah, because that was crazy, man. How we like I said, I met you when you were in, and then you, like when I decided to join, you were already out, I believe.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, if you were 25, I was already out.
Yeah. So you went straight in out of high school, or?
I did. Yeah, I like literally graduated high school in May, flew out to boot camp in July.
Oh shit. Yeah, because I failed on my own. Nobody else's fault. 6th grade. 1st grade, my mom decided to hold me back. So I was the old guy everybody joked on when I was in high school. So I was supposed to graduate 2000, year 2000, when the computers were supposed to cut off and you got to turn it off and Y2K and all that shit. And I had a Packard Bell, so I was like, man, come on, dude, don't do this to me.
Yes. I had a Packard Bell with a Cyrix 3 processor in it. That thing was amazing.
Yeah, man. So it had that, and it was like Windows 98 first edition, and so I had that, and then I graduated 2003 because 2 years I was back.
Mm-hmm.
So 2003, my plan was to go to the Marines. Like I went to see my guy, and I was depped in. I was about to enter the DEP program. It was delayed entry for the guys who don't know, which is get your shit together, then you go, and I got my scholarship, $90,000 scholarship at University of Maryland in the process of that. And he was like, dude, take the scholarship. And I was like shocked that a Marine recruiter told me to do that. And
because he didn't want to say it, but he's like, you will not have time to do that shit if you go into the Marine Corps. Yeah. They do not give a shit about your education in the Marine Corps. They just don't.
For me, it was just like, it was like, I was looking at playing football, which I did. I was a walk-on, but yeah, man. That was, it was pretty much 2 months. If I didn't get that thing, I would have been gone because I was like ready to go. So I ended up going to college that summer. Like right from college graduation, 2 weeks later, I had to go to remedial training or remedial because they were like, we had to get sped up, to be honest. So we had to do all this stuff and all this stuff. And I knew it was gonna be bad for me because I failed remedial math. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. And then I ended up failing Algebra 101 twice, and then I dropped out for 3 years because I had all my credits, but I didn't have math, which means the only major you select out of that was kinesiology required 101, and only thing that did require math was art. That was it.
Yeah, your gender studies weren't quite a thing yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of lucrative careers in gender studies back then. So
yeah. So I had to so math. We say we did. I just didn't want to do it, man. And then I was banging chicks, and I was on a football team and ESPN
banging
in the locker
dudes.
room. No.
I mean, you're kind of banging dudes, like on a scale of 1 to 10, you were banging dudes. So
shit, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, man, how's your Corona doing, man?
So far, so good. That's why I keep drinking whiskey. I mean, I just finished, but yeah, that's why I stick to whiskey because Corona it's just no good for you, man. It's no good. You can have any disease you want. Stop drinking your urine on screen.
I don't know if you follow UFC, but Lyoto Machida, he drinks his pee, man, and he's a champion. He was a champion before, so.
So that's what you're getting into now? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Not gonna lie, man. I was
is that where we're going with this conversation?
I was in the garage, man, and I was working on my own car. It's not a customer car, and it was like really snowing, and I didn't want to let out the heat, and it was cold, so I like peed in a bottle, and I almost picked it up, man. So when you pee in a bottle, like don't put it near yourself, like PSA, man. It's like.
All right, well, this conversation's over. I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm pretty sure there's people out there that have done it, that went through with it, man, and forget that that's not like tea.
No, well, yeah, my favorite is when we would be on in the Marine Corps, we'd be on humps or these big 15-mile hikes, and you got people that with their spit canteen and their water canteen, and they get them confused, and they drink that bit of tobacco spit.
Yeah.
And you're like, that feels good.
You see their face grimace, like.
Oh yeah, most of them just throw up, like immediately just throw up, and I'm like, yeah, how's that treating you?
Yeah, but some dudes just swallow it, like they don't even spit when they do that stuff.
Yeah, we call those people having stomach cancer. Yeah, because that's what you get.
And they
stomach cancer.
See the dudes with they show their lip and it's like white meat with black dots on it, and like dude, that's.
Like, dude, that looks like infected pork. What do you got going on?
Yeah. And then your wife definitely not gonna let you lick on her nipples. Look with that. Like,
lick? Not gonna let on her nipples is where this conversation just went, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man.
The one lady we have left, your wife, that's listening. Yeah. Does your wife watch your content?
She don't at all. I'm she speaks English, but I'll see. Probably get on here for like at least 20. It'll be, I'll probably get on here. My mom's gonna come here soon. I'll get on here and like just talk about, like,
talk about licking nipples. Hopefully,
why did she beat me and stuff like that? And
why? I can think of like 8 just based off the last 30 minutes. I can think of like 9 reasons why she would beat you.
Yeah, I kind of my wife, man. Like she'll be like, I got all these cars here, man. Even though some of them don't run and like some of them are like in like pre-built stages. And like she'll come to the shop and it's like it'll be like no reaction. I got the magazine feature cars and everything, and it'll be like we'll be at a parking lot. She'll see like a Ford Probe with a wing on it and be like, Seagull. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, sorry, one second. I don't know if you hear that in the background, but that's the Japanese. They drive around in the trucks with these big loudspeakers on it. And they promote stuff, so you probably won't hear it, but the guests will hear it. But anyway,
I definitely heard it. I thought she was yelling at you because you were starting to talk shit, and she was like, "I hear you, motherfucker."
Yeah. But no, man, it's like far as the content, man, it's like, or it's like I guess she's so close to like me. It just seems normal, but she really like for the shop and stuff I talked about before, man. Like she doesn't realize the magnitude of what I'm doing here. And a lot of people actually don't, that's military. They're like, being an American in Japan with a performance shop, like, dude, bro, like that's, and it's legal, and I pay taxes. She don't see the magnitude, so she's too close to it. So it's not until I go somewhere and then somebody will recognize me, and then she'll be like, oh, like you're like, I'm like not celebrity, but it's just like I'm a black dude in Japan with a red mohawk. Like
there's only so many of me.
Yeah, it's like that many guys, man, and it stands out. So. Then I go to the drift events and like, notable other OG drifters like Cosmo will come up to me first, Jackson, and then there are other drifters like, who the fuck's this guy? And we'll talk and everything, and I'll just,
That's what you just tell them. You tell them, don't worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, then I go many places where nobody knows, so it's, it's not about
That's
who
nice.
knows you and stuff like that. It's just. You'll see when somebody, because with me, I've seen plenty of like celebrities. So when I go to BWI or whatever, and they'll they say always they don't want to deal with people and all that stuff. They don't want to blah blah blah. But they'll see people look at them, and then they'll wait for the people to come up to them, and then when you don't, they'll be like, oh well, fuck that guy. He don't know who I am. Like, no, everybody just is not pressed to meet Bradley Cooper or to meet. All these guys, like, you're a human. You bleed. If I punch you in the face, you're probably going to swell up.
If I punch you in the face. I won't lie. I know who Bradley Cooper is, and I've watched several of his movies.
He's a cool guy, man.
He's a great guy. No, but, like, if I was just, like, in the middle of Times Square, New York, and I looked over and Bradley Cooper was standing right in front of me, it would probably take me a few minutes to realize, oh, that's actually Bradley Cooper.
Right.
And not just some dude that looks like Bradley Cooper.
Right. But he's one of the few guys that, in the industry, Keanu Reeves is like number one on those lists. That if you did do that, it would be a normal conversation. He seems like that type of dude. Like it would just be like, hey man, what's up? How's blah blah blah. How's the weather and how's the corona and all that stuff.
How's the corona?
What I mean? It's like, so I mean, he would be one of those few guys who are A-list celebrities that will be able to carry on a normal conversation, not awkward. Then you got other guys who are just like, what do they want from me? I'm like, we don't want nothing. Like, what I mean? It's like if I see somebody that I genuinely like, mostly for me, mostly fighters and drivers. Like other people, I don't care about. I just don't care about Hollywood stuff or whatever. But I was seeing like Richard. I call him Richard Hamilton. I call him Richard Hamilton the last time. Richard Lewis.
Richard.
Well, who's God damn it, man? Who's the F1 driver? The black guy, man.
Lewis Hamilton.
I fucked up two podcasts in a row.
Yeah, you just kept going. I was gonna let you just go with that. I was like, all right, that works.
So anyway, if you seen that guy, man, he seemed like he would be like a chill dude and be like, hey man, I respect what you do, blah blah blah. Shake his hand. No pictures needed, and they'll probably throw most people off because like, no, I don't need a picture. I know I met you. I don't need to post it on Facebook.
I have the moment right here. I don't need that.
Yeah. And I met a guy before, and he kind of was like, so you don't want to pay? I'm like, nah. He was like he being aggressive about it, like and shit. It was a local regional rapper dude, and I guess he was trying to like, cause if people post their pictures around, people like, oh cool, this guy's hot, and I was like, nah, I don't need a picture, dude. Like this, your rap's good, and keep doing it, and never seen him again.
Keep on plucking that chicken.
Yeah, man. But that's a cool. That's what I think. Like yourself, myself, and people like that. I mean, we respect the grind that it took to get to places, but we're not like you're not googly over stuff like that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I always say is there will be things, especially people who make like I'm using the word arbitrarily, but $1 billion. I'm using that arbitrarily. Right. There'll be people out there that make $1 billion doing something stupid, and I'm like, my thing is, I may not be fully supportive of that what they did to get to that place, like whether they sell whatever or they're capitalizing on an idea that is like people who capitalize on the sensationalism of something. But one thing I always say is I don't like it, but I respect the hustle. Right. if you get rich because everybody's panicking about coronavirus and you sell and you just buy a bunch of freaking Jergens hand sanitizer and label it as your own and charge $5 a bottle for it because you added in some lavender oil and peppermint oil, then man, you know what, dude? You keep on keeping on. I respect that hustle. I think it's terrible, but you know what, dude? Make that money, man. When you're retired at 38 and I'm still busting my ass at 48, you'll get the last laugh.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that is it shows people, man, how easy it is. Like, if you follow the trends in the market, man, I was a prime example of that. I decided to launch my business right at the 25-year mark. I knew if I did that the GTRs, it spiked up. So my customers, and that's why I got a bad name. Well, not a bad name, but everybody's like, oh, he's a GTR shop. Don't take your Subarus there, which is why I built a Subaru truck to get Subaru guys to come. So, like, I launched, and that GTR single-handedly kept me open that first year, single-handedly, and the trends and everything. So they already, in Japan, you can't sell, they already put a ban on selling masks. They banned that because if you go on Yahoo Auctions, dude, the prices are like $500 for a pack of 24. And people are buying it. I'm like, dude, they're panicking so much. My wife's like about toilet paper. I'm like, dude, bro, I'm connected to base. The base is not panicking. If I need toilet paper, I can go on base and get toilet paper.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So I'm like, just calm the fuck down, man.
That's funny, dude. And what's double funny about that is that those face masks, like the non-rated face masks, aren't. I forget what the rating is, but I have some of them for when I'm painting indoors, and I can't because it's like we live in a cold climate here in Indiana, so we can't always paint with the garage doors open. So sometimes I'll have the garage door closed, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'll just get high. That's fine.
Yeah.
But so I have the respirator masks for that particular type of situation. Yeah. However, the regular face masks that you're going to go buy from like a Target or the dollar store or something, those things aren't rated. The CDC, go to the CDC's website. They say the face masks aren't for keeping things out. For keeping things out or from coming in. Mm-hmm. It's from keeping the inside from going out. So to keep your cough from getting on other people. It's not. You're not going to stop. If someone coughs, you're still going to breathe it in.
Right.
Through a regular face mask because it's not going to stop microbial things. It's just not. It's not rated to do that.
And that's the thing.
So,
That's the thing too with the
people
mask,
are so funny, man.
Yeah, the mask that everybody's going crazy over. Exactly what you just said. That when people wear their mask in Japan, the people don't understand the reason why the mask thing is a big thing, because sick leave doesn't exist here. So you're gonna go to work with the flu. You're gonna go to work with all that stuff like that. And that's, again, like keyword you said, to keep all your shit inside that mask and the snot rolling on your fucking face and not on somebody else.
Yes.
So those same masks that everybody's going crazy over, they don't stop anything from coming in. And you're just, you know what I mean? So
it's just stopping the stuff from going out.
So dude, I seen people, man, like with all that shit popping up, man. Like, I mean, I got my this is a bougie mask, man, where like, you know, this is reusable, so you wash this one. But the people are, you know, I've seen people walking around with, like you said, the fucking masks that stick out like this far, and they got the carbon. You can see the black carbon it has in it. Like, that's for painting, dude. That's not for fucking. That's for woodwork.
That's for woodwork. You're like, are you laying lacquer? What is going on with you, man?
They got like the high end ones got the little built-in nozzles on it and shit. Like,
yes.
Like, dude, that's not for Corona, man. That's
not for Corona. Literally not for that. Like,
yeah.
These aren't rated by the CDC for any sort of NBC attack. You're still gonna die.
They got the mask, gonna take it off, and there's just a ring of carbon around their face, charcoal, and it's like
it's so
dude.
bad.
But
it's
yeah, man,
so bad.
And
that's the thing. It's like, yes, Corona is one of those things. It's like incurable. It has a mortality rate, but you're still more likely to die from the coronavirus that's related to the flu. Right. Than from COVID-19 or any of these other ones, and that's what I made a joke status that I said people are so concerned about coronavirus but won't get a flu shot. You're more likely to die from the flu than from coronavirus. It's like, come on, man. If you're the kind of person that never gets a flu shot and you've had the flu and it won't kill you, coronavirus won't kill you either. If the flu won't kill you, coronavirus isn't going to kill you.
Yeah, the deaths that I haven't looked into it, but they were mostly older people.
Yeah,
older people or people who already had compromised health anyway. Which a general cold, if you're that sick, a cold or flu, like you said, not even pneumonia, a cold can kill you if you're that screwed up. You know, take you out.
And pneumonia is going to be more of a byproduct of your compromised immune system anyway. Your body's immune system doesn't know how to properly fight something, so you start building up excess white blood cells, which leads to these holes eroding into your lungs, which leads to liquid from your body leaking into your lungs, your mucus back up, your phlegm and liquid and stuff like that. Normally you have a epiglottis. That's what the term is. The epiglottis keeps liquids and stuff out of your lungs. So every time you have a sensor above the epiglottis that whenever it detects liquid, it goes close and it directs it down your digestive tract, your GI tract. Once you start suffering from immune system issues, everything beyond the epiglottis starts to leak into your lungs, and that's when you get pneumonia. And that's when you get a scan. It looks like you have the universe in your lungs, and that's tuberculosis.
Yeah, so obviously you watch ER a lot.
I watch a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
I was listening to it like, this guy just watched fucking ER last night.
ER and Grey's Anatomy. No, what it is like, I'm not even like a medical doctor or anything. I know how to Google. That's why nothing scares me, man. My dad sent the family. We have like a family chat on Facebook where we can just update each other and everybody in the family contributes to this group chat. Right. And he posted this thing about from the Ministry of Health in the UK, Singapore, talking about an upper respiratory infection coming out of China. So the first thing I did is I went to the MOH website, and then I went to the CDC. I can't find anything about it, so I just said, hey, instead of reading something that you found on Facebook, why don't you check out the CDC and the Ministry of Health and see what they have to say about it? If within 30 seconds of searching through their website you can't find something on it, it's nothing you need to worry about.
Right. And that's like a key point, man. It's like I keep alluding to this, man. When we came up, coming up, there was like Axe Jeeves, and you had to go to the library.
Lycos.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. You had to go to. I had like 50 domains in there because when you get 20 megs per domain, you just link them all up. That first team in our website I had, which is horrible.
Yes.
It was like click.to. And I try to look it up because I want to see that stuff is gone.
Dude,
man.
no, man, you got to go on the on archive.org.
It's still there, you think?
The Wayback Machine, man.
The
I was able to find stuff from when I was 14 years old. I made a paintball team.
Yeah.
And I had an Angel Fire website for a paintball team, and I was able to find it.
I'm gonna look it up, man, because that's like, it had some stuff on there, some videos, and back in the day this was before YouTube. We were uploading like fucking 150p videos that were like, and it's like, and then we
I had $1 for every pixel. I
upload them directly to the server. Then you click on it, it would
download.
Then it would bring up an external Windows Media, and then it didn't play it because
and you would see, and because you had a 56K connection, it would say buffering for 8 years
until you get cut off. Until you get cut off, and while you're waiting, like your Net Zero account expires. So it's like,
no, man, you got to be a baller. You have to have Juno.
No, so Juno came from Net Zero, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But Juno was a paid version.
Yeah, Juno had a free tier if you had the little ad banner running across the top. Right. But that was back. That's back when people like myself knew that. Like, if you right click on it and you saw About Java, you're like, oh, I'll just uninstall Java. Yeah. You can't have pop-up banners run my website on my computer.
Yeah. So I used to do the because it was Blockbuster. You get the AOL discs and take like a stack of them. And you get like an hour, 2 hours, 1 hour per disc?
No, dude. You don't remember like towards the end of it? Like I will say right before, right when my mom, I don't want to say my parents because Dad definitely wasn't in the scene, right. But when my mom finally got us an ISDN line. Dude, ISDN, by the way, we only had it for like a month because it was so expensive.
Yeah.
We went from dial-up to ISDN, back to dial-up for like 2 or 3 months, then we got DSL. Yeah. But anyway, right when when we were doing that, dude, AOL was like, you get 2,700 hours for free.
Yeah,
you're like, what is 2,700 hours? So you start doing the math. You're like, is that like 8 months of free internet? Why don't you just say 8 months of free internet?
Because they don't tell you that 2,000 of those hours is going to be buffering, though.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're dialing in.
Yeah, and then you get cut off and everything. And then, like, speaking of that, man, like, I had a guy... a customer, I'm like, dude, you can't use that address with me, man. Like, every other email was going to spam. Like, nobody used AOL. I kind of felt like he was a creep. Like, why are you using AOL? It's 2020, dude. Like,
dude, get a Gmail. It's free. Get a Gmail.
Yeah, so like AOL, Hotmail. I mean, my server, I checked everything, the SMPT, whatever the fuck settings or whatever.
Yeah.
I check all that, make sure that's up to date, everything's there, and then it's like some emails, like it just some. Like, again, Outlook is not really good. Hotmail is not good. And AOL is not good. Everything else kind of, whatever. Even if it's your own domain.
Yeah.
It's better than AOL because
a lot of those domains are now, it's kind of like the news sources where all these different news sources are owned by 7 umbrella companies. And like, at least in the United States, I can't speak for Japan, obviously.
It's probably one.
But yeah, that's because like even like the drifttaxi.com, when you get my email, it's from the drifttaxi.com, but if you check the headers, it'll say Google Suites because it's all owned by Google. Yeah, all of my website, everything goes through Google. So if your email servers allow Gmail accounts to come in, then yeah, you'll be fine for me. Right. But I know people that are on. When I was doing technical support. One of the people that sent their resume in, I was a hiring manager when I was at B-Way because I was a consultant there, and they wanted me to do some hiring management for their new desktop support guys. And one guy sent in an email with a Netscape email address, and I was like, "There's no way."
Netscape.
I'm like it exists, but only by proxy.
Did he have the little pirate wheel on his?
It was a Netscape, but I mean, because we got his resume, I'm like, "There's no way you're going to get this email if we send you." It was 2014.
Yeah,
and I was like, "There's no way you're going to get this email if I send you anything at Netscape.com. You're just not going to. This email address doesn't exist. That's like having a CompuServe email address. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, some people just don't like. I'm like, because I had mine. That was my first. AOL. Then I had made the little. It was weird how you can keep using the same account. Even though you uninstall a disk, put the new disk in there, put the key in, and then mine was Wu-Tang 36 Chamber. Because at that time I was really into Wu-Tang, and
of course you were.
I made the I got a tattoo and everything. I made the little if you look at it now, and if you got like what's that thing they say, like if you look at flashing lights and you have a convulsions.
Oh yeah,
like,
epilepsy.
It was like rainbows and shit and stuff, scrolling marquees and it was all over the fucking place, man.
That's how all you described was MySpace in general.
Yeah. Oh, man, MySpace was it came out right as DSL was getting okay because MySpace wouldn't work in 56K. It was just too fucking much. And then before the ads and everything,
it was crazy. And then like, oh man, you just made me think about like all the classic internet days of like no one had nested links or pages in their website. Everyone had a single page, and the scroll bar would be your scroll bar would be that small. And you would just scroll, and every guy that was like a car guy or a gun guy or like into guns or like they were into like being like a man's man, they all had that GIF of the Glock firing at the center of the screen.
Dude, that and the fucking they had there was no regulated, like there was no fixed 1080p or 1080 by 720. Like if you put a big ass 4,500 by whatever, it will shrink it down to 1080.
Yeah.
And there was like you had a little fucking picture, then you had a big picture. Then you had a little picture, and it would be like all fucking jumbled in.
No one knew how to size things appropriately. No one knew CSS for people who are graphic designers right now in 2020. You guys have it made because there's this thing called CSS. But back in the day, there was no CSS. Yeah. Back in HTML, HTTP 1.1 and HTTP 1 and HTML 1. There was no CSS didn't exist. There was no cascading what? There was no everyone had the big thing that if you knew how to do it, the big thing to do was if you knew how to do the scrolling marquee across your website, you could have words.
Advance is when you did the scrolling marquee, but it didn't go. It would go back and forth. So what I would do, I would go to website because back then, like you said, there was no generators either. Yeah. There was no HTML generators, so I would go into there was HTML like quick, like if you want to do this, and there was examples next to it, but they didn't have a generator. So
there was no way to generate it.
I would go to the websites I like, and I would go to the source code and just pretty much copy their shit, then take all their fluff out, and then I put that shit into mine, and then like that shit wouldn't work because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Their database is not mine, so then I had to. So it would just be like blank shit, like floating around, like a dot or
the square X, with the red X. Yeah.
It would be a bunch of squares with red X's. Then the generators came out, and even towards the end, tripod is what I remember because Lycos tripod was the same and confusing as fuck because you would log into one. And then you would click on something, it would take you to Lycos, and then you would click on it would take you back to tripod.
Yeah, that's when people didn't know how to do redirects and masking. Yeah.
So, for that one, I had all those because I couldn't afford it. I had, I believe, about 9 or 10 different sites, all linked up into one page because I had like all the driver pictures on this page, all the videos on this page, all the like the car meet pictures on this page, and then I would link all that stuff up, man. And this was like, and now we laugh about it, but it's people like wouldn't be able to do that today. I mean, HTML is just like seems like science, and it's basic as shit.
Yeah, HTML it's definitely because everybody uses I remember my first. I was probably 16, maybe 15, and I had a Microsoft front page, and that was the closest you could get to something because it was a WYSIWYG editor for websites, but you had to pay for Microsoft front page. So of course I didn't. I just torrented it because I was a teenager. I didn't care about torrents. I didn't know that the FBI would actually come get you if you torrented something. I thought it was just like you'd get a virus or something.
Hey man, I just got a VPN 2 weeks ago, so I'm way behind the power curve.
Nice. Yeah. Well, so I had Microsoft Front Page, and
Oh
I
man.
had that, and that's actually how I built the Night Magic.
Yeah, because you
When
could.
we had the drifting website, the
Right,
Night Magic
right.
Drifting or Night Magic Erasing or whatever it was called.
Mm.
I had that website. That was all built in Front Page, but you couldn't. You literally could you because I didn't pay for the premium. I didn't pay to upload that stuff directly from Front Page. I had to make it all and then save it to my computer and then
Yeah, I remember
copy the
that. I
HTML
remember that.
files into my freaking my website.
Yeah. Do y'all
Yeah.
remember that was I used front page a couple times because I didn't know how to do frames, so I was trying to
Yes.
do because remember like you said there was no you can I set it up where the page would stay it would load I got it to load up in the same it wouldn't open a different fucking page 'cause I had all so I found that the code to like make it open up in the same window and then I had the little thing so. I eventually, towards the end, they did come up with generators. But by the time, man, the team was what it was, and I was going to college and banging chicks and all the stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, this is dope. This is this is done. Then was it the what I wanted to do was Flash was like becoming like you see those Flash sites. That was like that separated the shitty teams from the teams that had money. You see the Flash sites. I'm like, man, come on with a big ass nice intro. Then the car slides in, but I couldn't. I was nowhere near capable of doing Flash, and the Flash editors were expensive, and they had the nice music. And that was when the racing scene was the riciest and the best. That 99 to like 2000. Well, I was like 96 to like 2003 ish.
Yes.
And after that, it just Fast and Furious just fucked it all up, man. It was this feel good ricey feeling, man. Like eBay was popping and everything was just like your vocabulary had a muffler didn't have a hanger in the rear and it was just hanging out like
Dude,
like this.
absolutely. Can I share screens on this? Is that possible? Oh yes, this is happening. Hold on, let me see if I can allow this while I'm doing this without ruining your stream.
No, it should be good. I mean, as long as it's on your screen, then
It'll be on my.
Yeah, I seen that function, but I didn't want to click on it because I already had enough technical difficulties.
Oh, I have to. Yeah, so it's not going to be able to. Yeah, so it's not going to be able to do it until I. Whatchamacallit, unless I were to quit. Let me see. Maybe I can. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see. Well, your screen is blurred out. It just like shrunk down.
Oh no.
Which is gonna suck for my editing. You just became very blurry.
That sucks. Anyway, I'll just send you the link to this. I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay, now you're back. So it'll be so like for that little second. I don't even know what time it is. 50, 53. I gotta write my notes here. It's 52 seconds because like I say, I take your whole feed. So like for that little second when you try to screen share, it shrunk it down to like half the size.
Oh, beautiful.
So now
I just sent you my way back from when I had Night Magic Media or from Night Magic Racing. This is in 2005, dude.
Right. I can bring up. You send it to my. 1 second. I can bring it up on my end. 1 second.
I'm trying to see like what the oldest capture is. Yeah. I want to send you whatever the oldest capture I have is. According to the Wayback Machine, 2000. Oh my God, this is gonna be cringy.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna load it up on my on this end so everybody else is here. So copy link address and bring it up on my end. I'm gonna add a web page. Add source. And web page.
Oh, this is so cringy.
Utilize my controls here. Control V.
Nice.
And there we go. Wow.
That's from 2005, bruh.
But the thing about this, what's weird, oddly enough about it, it's still better than modern Japanese websites. Believe it or not. Like, believe it or not, dude. Like this, like I'm looking at right. This is top of the chart. This is like top secret. Which is that a top secret S15?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's funny that I said that, but this is I haven't been on Top Secret website in a while, but yeah, dude, this is like prime. This is like prime Japanese quality right here.
It's so cringy. I was such a poser. It's so cringy, but I love it because it like you can see like on the left side. You'll see like Midnight Apostles, like the street racing team, my Cavalier with its big ass wing on it. And then like you can hover over some of the things. Like some of the things may still work. So like it's like closed until you hover over it and then the little icon changes. That was like advanced, man.
Hey, do me a favor because I don't want to close up my feed. Could you look up see if you can find Team MNR. It was Team MNR. I think I changed it at one point, but it just went away.
So I have 5 results. I have teammnr.com. Then I have donaldjackson.teammnr.com.
Yeah.
And then I have teammnr.proforums.com.
Yeah. So that's when I made the form, and if you click on one of those and shit, it's definitely it because it had, it was like click.2/teammnr. I remember that.
That's 2005, dude.
Really?
What's the oldest one? Hold on, 67 captures. What's the oldest capture? Teammnr.com. Okay, so wow, this is all in. This is something else. Let me see here. Oh, I'm having a hard time pulling it up. Oh wait, no. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is from 2006. Oh man, the Midnight Riders member bio video. Oh, what's that? Oh, the Survival of the Night DVD trailer.
Yeah, send me the link. I'll put it up here so everybody else can see it.
Hold on, I gotta go to the home. I gotta see if any of these other ones will come up. Hold on.
Yeah. But it's crazy again. Like I'm not bullshitting, man. Like I'm actually as soon as we see this Team MNR one, I'm gonna pull up a website from a Japanese modern website, and you'll be able to see dude, it's just like all over the place. It's like bad, dude. It looks like some shit you look up in a library when you were in the 5th grade.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let me see. Pull this up. So this is the copy link. So it is actually. Let me see. It actually opens up and everything. Go back here and.
Dude, there's no way. Oh my god, how far back can I go? Your website has literally broken the internet, dude.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. Holy man.
Oh, dude, go to see if you can click back. Go all the way back to February 20th, 2006. Just go up to the top and keep clicking left. You'll see your Midnight Riders clip art there.
Yeah. 1 second, dude. Holy shit, dude. Is that? Well, I wonder if because you can see the web pages. I wonder if the links are still. I wonder if the links are still active. I'm looking over there. I got a damn monitor in front of me. But yeah, dude. The background of that is just one. It was all the links. I made those. I made like do it in Paint, and the was like some little witch column, and then the background is one single little like 5x5 image that
that's the houndstooth.
Yeah. Dude, that shit, dude, holy fuck, man. I thought I would never see this shit again.
Dude,
yeah. Holy shit, dude.
I'm at February 16th, 2006, and it looks like a 2006 website. You got the dude, yes, you have the free hit counter at the bottom so you can tell how many people visited your website. I'm surprised you don't have like a sign my guest book.
I had one on there. It was on my other site and everything. But I'm going,
dude, because everybody had one of those. Everybody had a guest book on their freaking 2000s website.
I wonder if I click this link, what it's going to do this.
Dude, 2006 was 14 years ago, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to think about.
Man, it's broken. It won't come up now.
Oh no, you broke it.
Oh, okay. It took me to like another thing. I want to go. Oh shit! It took me to StreetFire.net. And it's still. Is this current or old? No, this is old. Dude. Yeah, man. So that's crazy. Like we're modern OGs, man. Like this is crazy. Dude,
you have the contact Banner swapping info, Donald Jackson at teammnr.com. I wonder what would happen if I sent an email to Donald Jackson at teammnr.com right now. Like, would I get a bounce back?
I think that one is still active. It was teammnr.com.
Yeah, Donald.
Yeah, it would go to my if with the direct is there, I guess it would go to the proper place. But that was pretty much, it was my Yahoo, so it was redirected there. So I want to bring this back up. I want to click on some of the other links, and
I want to go. I'm going under live racing. I'm going to see if any of the videos come up. Oh no, none of them come up.
Yeah.
Donnie drifting at College Park.
I still got I uploaded that video. I found it and everything, and my first recorded suck scenes.
Gran Turismo 4 D1 style practice.
Holy shit, dude! This is like crazy. And let me get this out of your way. Editing is gonna suck a little bit, but
Nah, you're gonna have fun with it.
yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna like put your image out, and that's it.
It found FR drift. I'm watching this.
Dude, it's still. I just clicked on the what is it, my members, and it bring up the little.
Dude, wait! I'm sending you the link from this. What did I just click? What in the world did I just click? Oh, dude, do you still have this video? The one called FR drift.
FR drift.
Control Z. Hold on. I gotta. First of all, I'm messing up because I'm so used to pressing the control button to copy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The when you gotta press the the little Like I'm going through that right now with the Mac. I'm like, I gotta press the Windows key and fucking C, not Control and C.
Dude, click on that. It came up. I was like, I wonder if any of these. So I've just been clicking, and most of them are getting a 404, but that one came up.
Like father not found. Yeah. So you got this. FR. It was a video?
Yes. It's you drifting a Trueno in Gran Turismo.
It's still like loading on my end. So.
Oh my god. Some of these, so most of these are giving me a 404. Yeah, Gran Turismo 3 FF drift.
Oh yeah, I still got it.
Oh my god, stop that.
Yeah, I still got it on. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now.
Then you have the Midnight Riders short movie.
Yeah, I got. That's one thing I do have, man. One thing I wish I had is from the Midnight Riders DVD. That computer that I made it. Well, that computer I still have the case, but it's been rebuilt 3-4 times since that.
Oh, yeah.
The hard drives have been probably destroyed and remade 5 million times since then.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is I want to remaster. So I tried to do it myself. It didn't go well. So I had the DVD, which of course the camera sucked back then, and it was compressed down to get it, inside of 4 gigs. It was like DVD was long. I watched it many times. So it's already compressed. But if I had the original files, it'd probably be good to get a remaster or like a HD version.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
So I might be able to send that DVD off to somebody who. It was as close as I can get it to fit it on that DVD. Pretty much, you would scale it down to it says 4 point whatever gigs, and then you like almost at 80% quality.
Yeah.
And this is when Adobe Premiere first came out, and that's why we still use Adobe now. So yeah,
yeah, dude, I love your little disclaimer at the top. It says we don't promote street racing. We just happen to be on the streets at the time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! You're lucky. I love you, man. That's funny.
I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna look for really quick and bring that up. But yeah, man, it's like this stuff, man. Is I feel bad for the new guys who don't. They're never gonna. Let me turn this down. They're never gonna experience this. It's like we were born right in that golden time, man, where like. Technology was coming up and everything, and we were learning all this stuff, and now everything is already done for them. Like you want to build a website, and I do utilize it. You just you put some stuff in there, some pictures, and bam, you got a nice website. You know,
Yes.
what I mean? It's let's see, Team MNR DB Survival the Right Nightlife Survival. So what I do need to do is Nightlife. I need because I got the DVD separated into like back before YouTube allowed you to like load up 3 hours stuff plus. So I need to reload it all as one because I got it broken up into like 80 different things and everything. So let me see if I bring this up.
I like that you have the GIFs on the Midnight Riders page where it just like cycles through like different pictures of each person's car. Yeah. Oh, this is so fun, dude. Oh, I'm so glad we did this.
Holy shit, this sucks.
It's not fast.
Yeah.
It's like it has to activate that part of the internet again. So it has to go back in time.
He's like, the internet's like, what the fuck, bro? Like, just let it die. It's
Why?
like,
Yeah, let this go. Now that you've clicked it, this is going to get indexed again.
Yeah. It's like, we're trying to save gigabytes for all this Corona shit coming up. It's like, you remember that thing when they was like, they were like, change your backgrounds to, what is it? Change your background screens to like, let me see, none of this. Change your background to like a white screen so it saves. What the fuck did it say, man? Oh, that's pretty cool. Right in the video, right now, in the video, it has the I got the Lock Raven part where Kylie's driving the GTST Skyline, so that's pretty fitting. And that was illegal as shit. And he's drifting a car that's not federally legal. Like
nice.
Yeah, that's big time bad stuff.
That's all the fun stuff, though, man.
Yeah. That turned down in the microphone right now, but yeah, man, I'll just let that run, man, so you guys can see some of the stuff. This video footage was shot like in 90 somethings, man, like early 2000s, like around Fast and the Furious 2 ish. So to get an idea, man.
So like 2002.
Yeah. So
2003.
Yeah, because I remember it's crazy how you remember things, but I joined the military and adept in 2005. So what happened, I had to go to Jarvis' house and I had to take I was living at my grandmother's place. I had to take the computer from her house to his house to edit every night. And so it was like all the footage was shot between 2001 and 2003. Then we just sat on it and just put it out. And I did the whole DVD in like 2 weeks or less. And then put it out there, and then we sold a good amount of copies. So I went to Basic, and while I was going to Basic, they were selling everything, and then it went pretty good. So I mean, it's like this stuff, man. Is it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I love it.
You get like these new dudes, man, who think they know everything, and like and even for me, I respect old school cats because they were doing it before us. They were doing it back in the 80s and the 70s, late 70s, and they see us like we're the young whippersnappers, but we grinded to get where we are, except for you because you bought like Porsches and Mercedes and everything. But
that's someone has to do it.
Yeah, but still, but no jokes aside, man. Jokes aside, you still went through the normal phases of sucking. You know what I mean, and having shitty cars and
I mean to an extent, I still suck. I mean, whoa.
Yeah. Or nips, yeah. But yeah.
Yes. Not. I don't dip, so that's why I have it. So.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna close the video up. But yeah, for guys that want to see this is, and Dave's on there driving his Cavalier, hanging out the window with Wayne climbing in out of the window.
Put the wing on the Cavalier.
Which like it was funny, man. Like Dave didn't meet any Dave went from hey, I'm Dave to sideways with dude climbing out his window. They never met in his life.
Yeah.
That was it seemed like. I mean, I'm pretty sure it happens out there. Again, we're older, so it's like, all right, we've done that. We've done the traffic, and now we have families.
Absolutely.
And we know that we could have killed somebody and everything. So it's like I know it still happens out there, but it's just like I wonder if it does or whatever not. But it just seemed like everybody wants to take it back in the day and talk about I'm on a 90s nostalgia page, and everybody on there seems to not want to leave the 90s. I like it, and it was cool. But it's like, move on, dude. Like high school,
that was a long time ago, man.
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure you talked to, I'm pretty sure. Do you even contact with any of your friends from when you were growing up and stuff like that?
Unfortunately, not. So I grew up. You got to remember, I grew up in the hood. So like
I would
I
never know
didn't
that.
really have a lot of people that got out of that,
Yeah.
and then even the people who kind of did, we'll get back in touch and we'll start talking, and they'll see the kind of, because I haven't changed from high school.
Right.
The Dave you're talking
so you're
to,
the
like,
same?
as far as like the way I speak, preferring to use words with greater diction versus just slang and stuff like that. Always aspiring to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was yesterday.
Right.
And to them, that seems like I've lost my way. So they're like, "Oh, you gone soft, man. You're bougie now. You're just a white boy now." And it's like, okay, if being white means being successful, then I guess I'm white.
Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. Like, you people like that. Like, speaking, like, one thing I want to do, is it possible to have two Skype things at the same time, or you can only do one, like two different calls? Because I want to get you in, because I just want, I want you to either have Tokyo on your thing, man. Just like you two guys, man. Like, it's y'all. I speak okay. I mean, when I have to right now, it's just like free flowing and everything. But you guys, man, like, are so fucking eloquently speaking dudes that are black. And I'm gonna have Tokyo here actually again, because he brought up a thing where he was born at in the Midwest or whatever. He's like, kind of, I want to get he's pretty much renounced, not ashamed of being black, but he's pretty much like, I'm kind of like, I want to talk to him about it and get his thinking behind it. But he doesn't like to be labeled. And I understand that part, because I mean, I'm a black guy. I of course, by default, I've listened to rap music before, but I got more rock music, but I don't like that where people they just assume they're white from Oklahoma. They gotta listen to country music. They gotta chew, and they gotta do like all the things that everybody from the area do. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, do whatever you want, man. And that's the thing, is like, I listen to a wide range of music. I've got a lot of different genres on my playlist on Tidal, but I mean, it is what it is. You have to be true to yourself. People try too hard to uphold some sort of image, and they forget what makes them happy. Excuse me, I'm choking on a Dum Dum. I love Dum Dums. I'm addicted to these things, man. These things are freaking addictive to me.
How long do you suck them before you bite them?
Well, I mean,
it depends on how often you ask.
But yeah, so one of the things that I try to do, man, is I try to do whatever is going to make me happy, and people forget about that because they'll try so hard. Like, my friends from the hood will try so hard to be true to the hood that they forget that maybe that's not what you want to be. Maybe you want to just do whatever. Maybe you want to go be a computer scientist, or maybe you want to go out and invent some cure for coronavirus, man. Maybe that's what you want to do. You don't want to be just some guy working at Chevron, and getting excited because you got promoted to manager.
Right.
You want more for yourself, but you're so busy trying to uphold your cred. And it works in the other way too. I see a lot of people that come from affluent backgrounds that may want to, people that may want to get into like hip hop dance or R&B, or they want to rap for a living, but their family would look at them like, you want to do what?
Kind of like
so they're so busy, so
example,
they're doctors or whatever.
Not
there's anything wrong with being a doctor.
A good example of what you just brought up right there would be like, I don't follow him too much, but I do know a little bit about, I'm pretty sure you heard of the guy named Drake.
Yeah.
He's
some people say I look like him.
Yeah. From what I gather, I mean, him being, first being at the TV, they did the thing in Canada with the Degrassi, which I used to bang my girlfriend at the time a lot to Degrassi in the background, and at the time,
I was that relevant to the
story? Because Drake was in the wheelchair while I'm banging a chick, so I kind of felt bad for the guy, even though it's not real life.
Story off.
But yeah, man, it's like, from what I understand, he's never been when people and that's one of the bad things, people associate rap with struggle, and a lot of the newer rappers, they weren't they weren't poor. They didn't get everything they wanted, but they were, you know, they went to school, they graduated. Someone went to college.
Yeah.
And from what I said, like a guy like Drake, he didn't come from that background where he came from a pretty wealthy. From what I understand, I might be wrong, but he came from a pretty well.
He had a swimming pool as a kid.
Yeah, so he was good. You're good, like your own swimming pool. Like you're generally good. You know, it's like,
that's like what Eminem said in one of his raps. He was like, "Bro, you had a swimming pool.
Yeah. Like your own
you didn't start from
pool.
the bottom."
Yeah. So like, you know, but you know, and he used it. You know, the thing about it, man, he capitalized on what he did with the grassy stuff, and they're like, hey, man, maybe he rapped on there. Somebody, hey, you should rap and whatever. But anyway, that's just an example of you don't have to be from the gutters to be a great rapper, and every rapper is not from there. And then like, you know, I mean, it's just I just don't like how people classify things, and they just kind of like they'll see you for face value and just assume that you're that. So when guys come to my shop, after I just provide general service, like, you know, emails, invoices. Like my invoices are in a plastic sleeve with a sticker on it. They're like, dude, like this is so professional. Like, dude, you're paying me $3,000 to do that. I can't give you a 99-cent plastic sleeve.
Yes.
With an invoice and an email.
I can't make it look presentable.
And an email address that's actual my domain and not like Donald at Lycos.com and shit or like CompuServe. Like I don't ever want you to email me.
Like Hitman Donnie 69 at Yahoo.com.
Taking your bitch or something like that.
We all had those shitty ass fucking.
Speaking of that shit,
email addresses.
All right, so your job, like, do you work with like I mean, at one point, have you worked with like public, what is it? What I'm trying to say, man, tech support. You've done tech support before?
Way like back in the day. Like I haven't done anything customer facing in at least 5 years now.
My reason I'm asking you this is, what's been the weirdest email or the longest email address you've ever?
Oh my god. Well, I mean, they're all kind of, dude. I've seen my fair share of Hot Mama 420 at gmail.com for an email address on a resume.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want me to hire? When I see that email address, I don't even look at the resume again. I just toss it in the trash.
Yeah.
I don't care how qualified. I don't care what follows Hot Mama 420 at gmail.com. As soon as I see Hot Mama 420, your resume goes in the garbage.
Yeah, because you didn't have to foreshadow to think maybe I should be like a little just to get in the door. Then you can be back who you are.
Right. I mean, and it doesn't have to be like first name dot last name. My email address is dadam0641. It's just more
bland.
professional.
Yeah, it's bland. Yeah. 0641 could be like your employee number or something like that.
Exactly. It was actually the last four from my old Skype line when we had Night Magic Radio. Back in like 2014.
Yeah, so it's just that's the wildness, man. But anyway, man, I definitely want to hit like again. Did you watch the session with Tokyo, or seen some of it?
With Tokyo?
Yeah, Tokyo.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you gotta watch, man. You gotta watch it, please, man. He was the guy that was on Netflix. The Netflix. He was the black guy on Netflix with the S13KA.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you watch this Hyperdrive?
I watched clips from it. I did not watch the entire thing. I was prepared for cringe.
No, it's actually it's good to me because I know some of the drivers. I met some of them in person.
Right.
I had Tokyo on, and then like the commentators, I knew all of them. So everybody was giving all those guys, like the Rutledge guy or whatever, they were getting all those dudes shit. Michael Bisping, for one, is a fucking UFC champion. He'll knock everybody out there. And then you had the dude from ESPN, you had the chick, and then you had the dude from Top Gear. Oh, no. The new Top Gear.
He's from Top Gear. Yeah. Top Gear America.
And I'm like, so these guys are credible people. They got credible people to talk. But the average, what I hate about young people, man, is like they just, like going back 5 years ago is ancient to them, man. Like, oh, that's old school. Like, dude, it came out 3 years ago. We still talking about shit in the 80s and 70s and 60s.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 5 years ago for them.
And that's one thing that people don't get there. Like with what they're trying to make a spectator sport with around cars, you're going to have a lot of cheesiness because 99% of the people watching it aren't car people.
Exactly.
They may think shiny cars are cool. They may think loud cars and cars going sideways and making smoke is cool, but they don't own a 240. They don't own a 300Z. They would not own a 20 or a 30-year-old Nissan, first of all. They wouldn't own a 25-year-old BMW or whatever may have you. They wouldn't own any of that. They would.
Right.
They drive a Toyota Camry that's brand new,
Right.
probably leased, and they're just like, hey, I think cars are cool. I don't own a nice car, but I think that what they do there is cool. But they're not car people. They're not enthusiasts in that regard. So you can't address. It's just like when I talk about home theater stuff, or when I talk about car stuff via Drift Taxi. When I'm promoting my business, I don't talk shop with non-car people. If I'm talking to like the CEO of Hankook, or like a sales rep for Nitto Tire, or somebody over at NRG, I'll talk semi-shop. But if I'm just speaking to a sales guy, I speak non-car lingo. Or when people say what's drifting, I've had so many people ask me what's drifting. I have to explain it non-jargony. I can't say, it's when you pull the e-brake, dump the clutch, and let the tail end fly out. I have to explain.
Or just pull out your phone and show the clip of Tokyo Drift, like, and
yes,
then, like, Bow Wow speak, like, that's what it is.
I know. But you have, and so if you're announcing, and I've done some announcing at like drift events where they were like, hey, we need somebody who's hype and has a lot of energy. Dave, get over here. So I've done announcing at drift events, and if you're sitting there talking about cars and specs and horsepower and torque and who's got what lifters installed on their SR20, you're going to lose 80% of the crowd.
Right.
You're going to lose 80% of them. But if you just sit there and you're like, make some noise, that's going to get them all going. They're going to be like, yeah, they're going to start freaking shaking the fence and all kinds of dumb shit because they don't care about they're not like you and me. They don't care about what that person's driving. They don't care about a 92 S13 with an SR swap or an RB swap or the first RB 26 in the United States. They don't care about all that stuff. They care about it going vroom vroom really loud and going scree around turns. Right. So you just talk in that tone of voice, but the people that shows like Hyperdrive they're going to attract the car enthusiast by default. Right. The car enthusiast is going to watch something that's not it's not geared towards them, so they're going to be like, oh, this is cringy. Click.
Right. Yeah, and then the thing about it, man, was the advertise. Like I knew the guy. We were buddies. Fielding Shredder. I'm pretty sure. Fielding Shredder. Like that's
Shredder,
great name, man. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to because he's still like he's one of the few guys. I mean, he did well. His style was crazy, and he utilized that like as you should utilize that platform to push his own thing up. So he's doing pretty well. So after his not say buzz dies down, but I'm gonna get him on here and talk to him about this experience. So I talked to Tokyo and everything, and the Carol only. So I knew Tokyo. I knew of Tokyo. I knew. Fielding and we were buddies on Facebook. We never talked. And Carolina, who drove the BMW, we competed. We met in person at here in Japan of all places from Poland. And she's a nice person. Some people say she's whatever. She was nice to me, so that's all I go off. Anyway, that show I watched all that, and then I noticed there was a bunch of car stuff on there, and the other one was one called Drag. It was the fastest car. And I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's pretty. It's not cheesy too much until the late episodes. Right. But it's actually it's about drag racing and then they're pitting shit cars against whatever. So the one guy that I really want to win was a Civic because I started with the Civics and he would have won had his shit didn't blow up, his transmission didn't blow out. Right. It definitely. I mean, it was out there. You seen that episode, or you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know what you're. I saw the clips when it was on Netflix. I saw a lot of the clips.
It's decent, man. And the guy who won it with a hypercar, supercar, I guess a P1 McLaren or whatever.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
And but the guy can't. He was a humble's beginnings. Like he was saying to them, 3 years ago, before this day, me and my girl were sleeping in a single bedroom apartment with a Kawasaki motorcycle in the living room because he didn't have a garage or whatever. Then he got into car wraps, and overnight he just bam, he's making millions. And so it was cool because the hypercar won. So all the hypercar fags like yourself were happy, and then I
wait for it. Whenever you mention exotics or anything in a negative, I'm like, here it comes. Here we go.
But all you guys are happy, but then his story was like it was like he won on both sides because he also was a chill dude. He wasn't like a dick, And when they pulled up, they already assumed that he was a dick. So it was like what that show showed is everything we went through coming up in the drag racing scene, and what people still goes on, and people like measure, and it's like it's competition. My shit's faster than your shit because until you meet, so you're only faster in your little bubble, and most people don't want to get outside of that bubble. And then when you do, you realize for whatever you're good at, there's somebody out there that ain't even known that's better than you at it.
Oh yeah, dude, that's it. And that's I mean that it's just like that. You've done track days before, and you could be the fastest dude in your state. You could be the fastest dude in your region. The second you go to nationals, the second you have to go against somebody from like 8 states away.
So maybe I should have got those used Hoosiers from Craigslist. Should buy some new tires.
Dude, you get those guys that don't play around, and and a lot of times the fastest guy on the track or the fastest guy in the nation isn't the person with like the $1 million trailer and $40,000 dumped into a freaking Corvette. They're the guy that has like an S2000 on some really sticky tires with decent suspension, and they just never lift off the throttle.
And the thing about it too, no power adders like this.
Yeah,
suspension, tire, seat, harness.
Yeah, and it's just pure skill, and those guys. And so you get a lot. I see that all the time. Like with NASA and SCCA, you see a lot of guys who are really fast in the Midwest, or really fast in Indiana, or even like really fast between like the Midwest and the East Coast. And then one of the Texas guys comes up, and they're just like they're 2 seconds behind them on the same track in the same car.
Yeah. It's definitely we've been in many things competitive like areas, and for me sports. Motors, I won championships in sports, and then going to college, and then like so that thing of being good, and it's humbling, and it's something that a lot of people don't get. Being a captain of 2 sports and a starter on varsity football in high school, then going to college and being the only guy on the team that wasn't All-American. I mean, I was the only guy on a team that wasn't even the walk-ons were All-American. They just and I was the only guy, but I still made the team. I was on the team. I was good enough to be on the team. But then you was like, dude, I never got manhandled like this. And then like now I'm getting manhandled like by Vernon Davis, who plays for the 49ers.
Right.
And Sean Merriman, who just like all these guys I play with. And so that's one thing for you and myself that, again, we're good at our craft, but people think like I just make money. Like, dude, I never stop reading on new tech, because if you stop doing that, you're just like, for me, my computer knowledge is vast, but I kind of stopped at like when XP Service Pack 3 was hot. That's kind of when I stopped studying and shit. So I know the new stuff by default, but like I didn't know until like a year in that you can drag your window over and have a split screen in the screen. Like I didn't know that. And actually in Windows 1.5 or whatever, it actually was a feature that they took out. It was actually in that first Windows, but they took it out because they said they didn't want to do the processing shit or whatever. And so like it's like whatever you're good in, man. Like there's somebody better. You gotta acknowledge that, and then that keeps you practicing. That keeps you for whatever you do. And then till you get to that point, and then you get to a bunch of elite people, then you can either hang with them or you beat them, and that's a validating point. Then you go home and you take a shit, because that's what all humans do. And
I go home and take a shit quite often.
You're by yourself, man, and like so all that stuff, man. And it's a mental thing too. When you get there, I'm never nervous. You get to the event, you show up, and think about it. I've been that guy. I've been that guy where you show up. When I went to Tsukuba with my shit S2000 Subaru, everybody was laughing at me, dude. I wish you could see their faces. They were scoping, they were pointing, and then I did my first laps and came back, and they were like, "Holy fuck!" Like he's actually They thought I was a joke, and then I was like, all right. And I smiled at them, and I didn't say shit. I don't gotta all these fuck these. Like I internalized it. I went on the track. I lapped some GTRs. I came back. They moved me down to the second group because the car was stock. So I was in the first class because they seen I was a pro driver. They was like, "You're a pro driver, but the car is not." I mean,
it's not a pro car.
Yeah, no matter how much you talking me this, you're not going to be faster than that GTR with that EJ20. You're just not. So I was a what you call it? I was a liability out there because they were just they were Alfa Romeos and all this other shit like going around me, and Lotus Elise and all that shit. So they put me down in the second group, and then I was lapping people. First group I couldn't keep up because the car was in stock. So it's just, and then from that point, I was 74 cars there that day, and I was like the 44th car. And a car that I built in 2 weeks that cost $1,200, and I was lapping GTRs.
Nice.
And that right there was a lesson to them. Don't fucking judge people because they assumed that I sucked at driving. Then towards the last laps, I had people out there watching, like cheering for the Subaru. So the guy was like, "Don't." So all the shit they were worried about, they was worried about their car leaking. They was worried about shit falling off because it looks like that shit was gonna fall off the car. With a big wing. I didn't go off the track once. I didn't leak anything. My car, I didn't do anything. So to them, it showed the track event guys a lesson, and it showed the guys that are normal style lessons that, hey man, there's people that you don't never know that will fuck you up, man. Like,
dude, I've got the video on my YouTube, and that's the thing is like I've got video on my YouTube of my conquest. At
TSI
at Putnam Park.
Yeah.
And dude, there was a guy in a 911 turbo, not a turbo, a 911 Carrera, and we would get out on the straightaway on the backstretch of Putnam Park, and he would pull away.
Right.
But by the time we got up to turn one, he was slowing down so much for turn one that I would just come up, and my Conquest, my Conquest had a stock motor, so it was 180 horsepower with a tailwind. Going downhill, that thing made 180 horsepower, so I just left my foot down. And it was on, and it had fully built suspension, so it had like poly bushings, coilovers, front rear sways. This car was done as far as suspension. It had a roll cage in it, so it was super stiff. And dude, when I showed up to that track event with my spray paint blue paint job, everybody was like, "Oh man, he's got paint on the tires. How fast is that car gonna go?" And I could see it in their faces.
He's like, it's not demolition derby, man. This
right? They're like, you have paint on your tires right now. I'm like, yeah, I know, but they're good tires. I'm like, they're good tires. Right. And yeah, dude, I got out there and the straightaway, that backstretch, everybody would pass me. But by the time we got back around, they all had to pass me again. Because we'd get into the corners and every freaking Porsche and Corvette and well-built car, they were all doing this. Like, they would just give me the point by, because when we're in the corners, like, you can't pass in the corners, so they had to slow down before the S's to let me go, and then they try to keep up with me through the S's, and they couldn't. Right. And then by the time we got around to the backstretch again, that's when they would all just come by me because they had 400 horsepower. Right. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to keep going. I'll catch up to you eventually.
Right. So were those guys, did they drive to the daily driven track cars?
Yes, most of them were daily drivers. So you had like a lot of Camaros.
You had to. So the thing what it was like you were like, not reckless abandonment like in a bad way, but you were just like, man, I'm gonna have something else in 2 years from now, so fuck this car. And you push it to the max, and they're like, older.
My Conquest had a license plate, so I didn't have to trailer it.
Right.
That was literally, and even then I trailered that car to the event. So I was like, they make the joke is like on the EFI forums and like Max ECU and Mega Squirt, they all have like, everybody says they have a bring a trailer tune. At track days, I always drove like I had a trailer, even when I didn't have a trailer. I never drove like I have to drive this car home. Let me be careful. I always went 11/10. So I was just, I would go into corners like, I think I could take this turn at this speed, even if I couldn't. And sometimes that's when it would get embarrassing, when you'd go into a corner and you run out of talent about midway to the apex. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm not as good as I think I am. Here we are. Grass, sky, ground, sky, fence, tree, sky. Yeah. All the fun times.
You rode that car?
No.
Okay.
No. I was
yeah.
I was speaking in hyperbole, but yes, I've
oh, you got that Corona. Oh shit, man. Fuck that, man. Can't take no chances, man.
I know. This shit it'll be an internet transferred disease, man. You get an ITD out this motherfucker. So yeah.
I still got Norton's antivirus.
Yeah, right.
2001.
You gotta get rid of that McAfee, man. So I've crashed twice in the decade and change that I've been on the track. I've crashed twice on the track. On the street, tons of times. On the track, twice. I crashed my Mercedes most recently back in 2018. I went sideways and just like tapped a wall a lot harder than I thought I was going to, but kept driving because I was like, the car still moves. Let's keep driving. And then I crashed, not even a real crash, my Mustang, I went into a turn and I just backed into a pole, and then I was like, everybody was like, oh, and I went out. I got out on a hot track, which you're not supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, if you crash your car on the track, on a hot track, don't get out of your car. Don't be me. Don't be stupid. Anyway, I got out. I looked at my car, and it basically just like kind of put a small dent in the bumper. So I just kept driving.
Yeah, that's real. We were joking, man, but that's definitely a real thing because you've seen some buddy. I had some buddies that distant buddies. They weren't like buddy. We talked a couple of times, but got on a hot track and then another car smashing. Because you know what happens. You know, people who don't race, who don't know, like when you look at things, you're gonna like probably hit them. So like the guy coming on the track flying, he looks at your car. He's supposed to be looking at his apex, and then not magically he understeers into your car.
Yep.
And you get
where the eyes go, the car follows.
Yeah. So you know, people like you look at videos, you're like, why is he looking over there? But he's going there because he's looking where you're going to go. Like,
that's why they tell you to look at the turn ahead,
right?
Because if you're looking at the turn where you're trying to be, you're not going to take that turn properly. You want to look at the turn after that turn. That way, because you're doing 125 miles an hour. Your brain needs time to calculate. So when you look at that turn ahead, it says, "Oh, put the car here, turn in here, tap the brake, roll back in. Okay, I got it."
Right. Have you heard the theory? I read it. I've actually tried it, and it seems like it worked. The theory of having a lower seat versus being able to see like the point of your hood. It's saying like a lower seat makes you go faster because because your eye vision is lowered. So like you look out even further because you can't see like the tip of you can't see the. If you know what I'm saying, like if you're sitting on a high seat.
Yeah, but you're 6'3", I'm 6'2".
No, I'm only 5'11", man.
Oh wow, never mind.
I hate saying that though. This is like you want to be fucking cool, but I'm actually 5'11".
I remember you being taller than me for some reason. I don't know.
The mohawk actually adds 6 feet though. It's cool.
Nice. So I'm 6'2".
No, I'm
I took my Miata. I had a Miata that I took to a couple of track days, and even with I had a Momo racing seat that lowered my seating position 4 inches, and I was still feeling pretty tall in that car. Like it's hard. Unless you're driving a big car, when you're over 6 foot, dude. Unless you're driving a big car, it's hard to get like real. Unless you do something custom like Doug Vandenbrink with his Mustang seat that's pretty much just bolted. He lowered the floor. He basically lowered the floor and then mounted the seat to that lowered floor to lower the center of gravity of the car. Because Doug Vandenbrink is like 6'1" or something like that.
Yeah. I remember him being kind of tall. He's like a lanky guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So man, it's this stuff like that, and I'm gonna look that up because I'm intrigued to see it. Because you look at you look at those not rally guys, but the F1 guys, and Adrian Senna. I didn't fuck his name up, but you look at you look at those guys, man. And they sit like they're in it, they're down, and it's like it seems like. They can't see the front. They can't see the
steering wheel.
Yeah,
the steering wheel's in front of their face.
Right. So you got like this much vision, and it's like I don't know how these. I don't know. I want to drive one. That's one of my people got like stupid bucket lists, but one of my stupid bucket lists were I definitely want to drive a Formula car. I was
gonna say start with like F3000. And then work your way up to F1.
Shit, man. If I meet somebody I seen a video of what the fuck's his name before I fuck it up? Lewis Hamilton?
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton, I got it right. So it was a video of Lewis Hamilton and a bike guy who was, I forgot his name, Italian guy, I think, and they swapped. Lewis Hamilton got on a motorcycle, and the guy got an Indy car. But they're both champions multiple times. So it was like, all right, cool. We know you got the money if something, you can fix it both ways.
Yeah.
So they swapped. So Lewis Hamilton was on a bike, and he was in the F1 car. So they did laps, and they watched Lewis Hamilton laps. They compared both. So he's like, all right, you drive it, then I'll drive it. And he did the same thing for the bike. So Lewis Hamilton, but they were saying because Lewis Hamilton was pretty solid, though. It was like probably a low tier level speed, but still, he still could do it if he wanted to.
Yeah, if he went on if he took that bike and went on the track against other professionals, he wouldn't be out of class.
Right. He would be able to finish. And but it was the sense of speed. Like they're both fast as fuck. One is
Yes.
fast, but they're both fast. But if you crash, it's not like you crash in the car. You got like they both are kind of fucked if they crash. Even though they're in a car, they got the F1 got the big halo, which everybody doesn't like now. And but the bike guy is totally fucked, especially Isles of Man.
Yeah,
it's like I'm brave, man. Inside of a cage, but the Isles of Man and dude, you just see those dudes go off the fucking edge, like
dude. The Taurus Trophy over at the Isle of Man, and dude, there's no way I would do 200 mile an hour on a bike. I did,
and it's wet.
Yeah, yes, and I got my Mercedes. I recently had it tuned by Eurocharged, and I got it up to once I got it back. I drove it around for a bit, then I took it on the highway. I did 171 miles per hour in a car. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I have no desire to do that ever again. These people are doing 205 miles an hour on bikes. Right. I'm like, if you sneeze without expecting it, you're dead. Yeah. You're going to die on the bike. Like, shoot.
And they have confirmed deaths every event, right? Or near confirmed deaths or near fatal accidents or critical. Yeah. That's just like, dude, you're like, what are you like? What are you thinking, dude? As you're like just floating through the air, like, dude, I'm fucked. Like, and then you just go off the cliff. You go out. the inertia from the bike and the energy, your body continues going 200 mile per hour, and then you start going down. So you go out and down.
Well, if it's anything like when I watch the Pikes Peak people that get like damn near to the top of the mountain of Pike, they get damn near to the top of Pikes Peak, and then they go crashing off of the edge of the edge of the mountain. A lot of them have said you're turning. They're like you're because that's the question every journalist asks. What were you thinking as you were crashing? They're like, it's literally you're driving. The next thing you know, you're at the bottom of the mountain.
Right.
You're not even aware of the 30 seconds of rolling you just did. You're just like, boom. Yeah. And then the next thing you realize, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. That is true, man. Believe it, I got a story kind of that when I wrecked my S13 in the mountains, like don't take your comp car to the mountains. It's a bad idea. So I took that there, and it's true, man. When I went off the road, when I look back at it, it was actually about 10 foot is not. It's not. I was doing about third gear, so I was up there. But when it happened between me realizing, fuck, I'm about to go off the road, and I hit the barrier and did a 180 and went down there. I went 10 feet down the slope and hit a tree. The roll cage, Bolton roll cage, everybody talks shit about. Proper Bolton roll cage to a non-rusted chassis saved my leg because the tree smashed into the side, fucked everything up. But if I didn't have that roll cage, that it would have came inside the car and and tackled it. So between realizing that I was going to crash and then like being at the it was like surreal, dude, because I was like, nah, I'm like, dude, this ain't just fucking happen, man. Like I'm to myself. Then after I realized this is real, I start fucking screaming, fuck, because I'm like, dude, I'm about to get kicked out of Japan, and everything just worked out. Yeah. And I got my car out of there, and the cops never found out. And the crash was perfect because you have to physically get out your car and look down there. You can't, if you drive by, you can't see the bottom. So,
okay.
So the car was there, and then the father came there and cleaned it out. And what happened when he craned it out, the bumper was shattered, but the license plate was still attached. So I had to go back out there because if they would have found that, fucked. Yes. So I found the license plate and I chucked the shards of the D-Max bumper into the woods and like recycled into the woods and everything.
I recycled them.
Yeah.
I recycled them.
Because if I go back, they're still there, but the license plates was bolted to carbon. I mean, FRP. So I had to break it. I had to like step on it and
all
bend
kinds
it.
of shit. Yeah.
So I just took the license plates was still attached to the bracket, attached to the FRP, and I just threw it in the car. I'm like, let's go.
Let's go. Let's get out of here. But like I said, man, I've only crashed twice on the track, and they were both conditions where I can keep driving. Right. But on the street, I've totaled cars, and I have hit stuff. I mean, it's literally you get the car sideways, and you're like, yeah, bam.
Like, who the fuck said that?
That's a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, I crashed my Cavalier. I crashed my 240. I rear-ended some dude in my Mustang.
That's what happened
crashed.
to the bullet, or the.
Yeah, well, that was so. What's funny is I wasn't even doing anything stupid when I rear-ended somebody. I was driving down whatever, I forget what road that was in Douglasville, Georgia, but I was driving down a road and the person in front of me rear-ended a stopped van and I just couldn't stop in time. So I wound up rear-ending them.
Two rear ends. But I mean, so because did they take that? Did anybody flee the scene, or was
everybody stuck around? They tried to sue me. The person I rear-ended tried to sue my insurance company, but the police report, they made the mistake of reporting that they rear-ended someone first. Right. So the police report was like, well, this guy's not really at fault. You can't come to zero in that short amount of time.
Right.
So
they didn't see like any tire marks of 60 feet.
Oh yeah, well, like especially since my Mustang.
He's like, this motherfucker's doing 170 miles per hour and he crashes.
Well, my Mustang didn't have functional ABS at the time, which is probably why I rear-ended them. If I had my ABS still engaged, by the way, leave your ABS engaged. Yeah. You cannot outbrake your ABS. Stop it. Not you. Talk to the kids.
Yeah, F1 still uses ABS, but
kids out there like I could stop better than my ABS. Freaking Juan Gun Midnight said so.
Yeah, you'd be the same guys like with 2 feet on a brake pedal trying to stop. Like,
all 4 wheels locked up, and they're like, "Why can't I turn?"
Yeah,
but so I did that. But I mean, I've crashed plenty of cars, and every time you crash, it's one of those things where you're like, I got this, and the second you realize you don't have it, it's too late. Once you've run out of talent and you start heading towards that guardrail or towards that tree or towards that wall, it's too late. But you don't have time. I got this. I don't impact. Right. And it seems like people watching are like, wow, he spun for a really long time. But when you get out the car, you're like, what was that? Yeah. That happened so fast.
One thing, speaking of that, man, like since we're talking about that right now, is I was watching Dale Earnhardt on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he mentioned all the crashes he's had, which I didn't realize he had that many crashes and rollovers, and it was weird that he's a pro driver, but he said something that was weird to me, and maybe I'm pretty sure on podcasts live you're just kind of talking. He said when he crashed, he holds on to the steering wheel. And my theory on that, like if you're crashing end over end, if that wheel comes down and bam hits that wheel and you holding on to that, that's gonna rip your fucking fingers and thumbs and shit off. So my thing, well, because he was saying like if you don't hold on it, your arms will go like flying and shit. And they got the Hans device, and they got the Hans device for the arms now.
Yeah.
So like your shit doesn't go out the window and the car rolls on it and stuff.
Doesn't roll onto your arm, yeah.
Right. So which happens, and or you have the nets and all that stuff like that. But anyway, I'm like, man, I would kind of like hold on to my because my thing is when I crash, if you can't save it and you're done, I let go. Because
I let go of the wheel.
Because plus drifting, we were already like this.
Yeah.
And if the wheel hits and it snaps back the other way and your hand's in that shit, your shit's gonna go like this, and then
break a nail.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, man. So like my thing out there for my tech advice for those guys would just be like once you can't save it and you're fucked, just let go. Because the Japanese guy actually broke his same thing. A Japanese drifter broke his wrist because he tried to at the last second, like there's nothing to do, and it happens sometimes too fast, and his hand got caught in the wheel and got
Oof.
Yeah.
Especially with some of these cars that have like steering quickeners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That steering quickener will it'll just fuck your shit. Every time I've crashed, and it almost was instinctive. It wasn't like, oh, I'm crashing. My brain wasn't like, oh, tuck in and hold tight. It was just, maybe it was the military or whatever, but it was kind of like I'm going to hit that wall. I don't want to be touching anything that's going 60 miles an hour when I hit that wall. So it's literally like, as the wall's coming up, I'm just like...
Yeah. So like, that's, what's funny, man, is because you posted about 2 weeks ago about letting Jesus take the wheel.
Yes.
Man, I think I jumped in there, then I jumped out. I was like, this is going to get popcorn. This is like because everybody's like, dude, what are you talking? Like explain, bring up this Talk about what you were talking about that time, man.
What I said is, okay, so the problem is I'm a member of a few SCCA groups on Facebook, and every time someone crashes, it's because when I see a crash from an overcorrection, I'm like, do people not realize that when your car, especially with a rear-wheel drive car, if it gets sideways, if that tail end starts to step out around a sweeper, like a decreasing radius sweeper or even an increasing radius sweeper, let the wheel go. Let the wheel go. If you let the wheel go, that car will correct the steering better than you can with your hands. And man, that unleashed a flood of boomers yelling at me.
I understood what you were saying, but like when you said let the wheel go, they thinking like you'd roll on the windows and put your hands up the fucking window.
Yeah, they're like, go.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, just do this.
I knew exactly what you were talking about, and they knew too. They just wanted to fucking make their day bright by arguing with you. And I knew exactly what you were saying when you were saying like, your hands are still there, but you release and you catch. If you got gloves on or you got a decent wheel, you release and you catch, and I know what you're saying, man.
Although, if you watch some of my drifting videos, even recently, especially with big cars like the S600, because those big wheelbases rotate so slowly, you'll see me like throw the car in, and I go like this, because I'm just like, oh, hey,
yeah.
I turn the wheel in the car, so I go, hey, and the car just slides. I'm like, you can literally, I have actually held cars completely sideways without. I mean, my hand is still around where the wheel is. But you're not actually touching the wheel.
Right. Because a lot of people don't realize.
You were traveling in a direction. The gyroscopic force is going to keep the wheels facing in that direction as the car rotates. So when you let the wheel go, it just goes.
Right. As long as you set it. You set it there. Your car has already been set on its course. And you're not like the key to most people is like, if you're not understeering and you're like, you're pretty much, and this also, guys weren't. I knew what you're talking about the hand letting go, and also they're not factoring in throttle modulations with proper grip. Because
you're with those rear wheels,
right? If you fucking, all drifters do when they start, you hammer down until you spin out. You know when you get in the drift, you got to let off a little bit, and then you get on, and then like once it's set, unless you got a shitty steering rack, it's not gonna just pop back the other way like Gran Turismo. You know, it's
like Gran Turismo 4, which had the worst drifting physics.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Because that's when they put that drag they had the drag race from the nitrous, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they
dude, I hated that. But so, I mean, even then, like even before I really knew when I was getting okay with my Mustang, and Mustangs have no steering angle. Well, SN95 Mustangs had no steering angle. So there were times when I would turn in and it would start to slide, and I realized I could just. Pinkies touching the wheel, just in case little corrections had to be made. And like you said, you're throttle modulating, but on a track or at some of these, like with my BMW, I could get into some of those bigger turns, and it would just be like you get to like 3/4 throttle, and you just hold it there. You don't let you get to 3/4 throttle. The car is throwing smoke that way. Your car is going that way, and you're just constant throttle. Constant steering, and at that point you don't need to touch the wheel because the car is, like you said, on a set course.
Right.
So it's just going. So you're just sitting there. Go
ahead and shift up the third gear, and it'll
stop. Oh yeah, sorry.
Before you miss a gear.
Yeah, so you're on second gear and you're banging off the limiter on the transition. You slam it in the third and let that shock ship the car back over, and then you
dude, when you can do that, that's a cool ass sound. When you can do that, and it goes to the next one. But it's like you get to that point where you think you're killing it, and then people in the stands like, dude, shift the fuck up, shift up. Even though they're in the stands and they don't have a car and they're scared as hell to do it, they just pros. They're pros anyway. But they got a valid point. Like, dude, shift up, because I remember drifting at the track, and I didn't want to miss a gear, so I would keep it in second and just a little bit. And sometimes there's a point where that two rev limit bumps is you have to do it, because if you go up, you kind of lose that
Yeah.
You lose that, seconds and everything. So if you're going into the corner, rev mesh downshift and all that stuff, sometimes keep it in second gear and just let it get it, and then you're going to slow down anyway and then get right back into it. That's advanced shit. But I learned that initially.
I've been on tracks, and at first, when I did my very first track day at Little Talladega, like an actual grip track day, not drifting, I didn't understand when people were getting on the limiter. I'm like, why don't you shift up? And they're like, because you saw when I was hitting the limiter, if I shifted up at that time, I'd either have to shift early,
right,
or by the time I went to shift up, I'd be coming right back down anyway. So just hit the limiter. That's what it's there for. But I mean, I've been there. I've done the. That's when you first feel like a badass of drifting. Yeah. When you're sideways, clutching third gear, and you keep going sideways. You're like, I'm the best. I am the best.
Yeah. Then you get that weird, like, you got that the normal tire screeching, but there's certain tires you get like they're.
Yes.
It's like a harmonious sound that it's a low. It's like it sounds like know what it sounds like when the dudes do a burnout in those dualies.
Yes.
It's like.
Yes, I love it. I miss that, dude. I mean, like, you could see, like, if I go back to like some 2010 videos with my BMW, you could tell when I started getting confidence, because when I was still nervous about drifting on a track at over, coming into that first corner at over 100 miles an hour, my car was screeching a lot because the wheel speed was almost matching the vehicle speed.
Right.
So you were sideways dragging the tire, so you get that. As you're sliding, but once I started getting my confidence up, and I was like, okay, it needs to be in fourth, and I'm going through this, and you just foot down in fourth gear, all that screeching goes away because your real speed is so fast that you just glaze the rubber over, and it's like and all you hear is engine and women's panties hitting the floor because you're so good, or maybe that was just me.
So
those are my panties.
Yeah. You wear those when you're drifting, man.
I do. Yeah, it makes me feel more masculine because I wear them backwards, so the small bit's in the front.
It's just like the thing right here. The dick is You're just like it looks.
it's like straddling.
I was like
those kinetic desk balls.
No, like your balls, like there's like right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you crazy, man. But the
castanets, man.
Yeah. So for tandem, man, like how like what would you say, like your because I've seen a lot of your videos, but like tandeming, like where would you say like your level is with that, or how comfortable? I mean, how close?
Am I the lead car?
Yeah.
If I'm the lead car, man, my tandem skill is amazing.
Yeah.
If I'm the follow car, it's questionable.
Yeah.
I could avoid crashing into the person in front of me, but I do, especially if I don't know the driver and they're like, "Hey, you're going to tandem with that guy." I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give him 15 feet.
Right, because you don't know his consistency. That's the true thing. The BCU, I do that a lot, and the cool thing about a BCU is there's one particular session it's called Nishi Short. Nishi, it was his West Short, and everybody there, like, it's a known thing. If you come in here, you fucking you're
door to door.
You ain't got to ask. So like, I like that session because you go to the other tracks and he's like, I don't want to drift with you, but everybody there knows they're invested into it. And then like you get those. Dude, it's that moment when like you're like millimeters apart from a car, like millimeters apart, and you're both 100% throttle, and it just naturally flows, like, and then you just straighten out and you get right on this bumper. Then you do it again, and then like you don't even know each other. You actually don't even talk after the session. It's just like you have quick sex. And you don't look each other in the eyes, and you just like that was cool.
One night stand,
like,
drift stand.
And then it's like nobody got it on video, but it was like people seen it. It was like, dude, that was fucking awesome, man. Like,
you guys were inches apart. That was awesome.
It was just like if he does anything, I'm going through his car.
Dude, I mean, I've been in those situations where you're driving behind somebody and they think they got it and they don't got it, and they start to spin, and you're just like. Your brain starts doing 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're like, oh, okay. Do I stay in it and try to go around them, or do I just 2 feet in and spin. Usually, I pussy out. I just go 2 feet in and spin. Right. I don't chance it. Some people will try to go around people, and and sometimes they'll get away with it, but I don't have that luck.
That's true. You gotta know when you use them as like a moving apex, and it looks cool to the spectators. Like, man, that's badass. But like, it can go really wrong if the guy like backs up or some shit while you're trying to use him as a clipping point. Then you'll get screamed at because the rules are you're supposed to bring it. You know, if somebody spins, is an automatic yellow flag.
Yep.
So you're supposed to stop. And in a good drifter, we can be sideways at this speed and this stop, and then you go straight again, which is just you let off the gas in the car and turn the wheel so you don't fucking keep going into the way you're pointing. So straighten the wheel up, and but yeah, it looks cool. You know when the guy's spun and he's not gonna move, and you just go around him, and he like the spectacle, and you give him a thumbs up while you're going around him. And I did it to a Japanese guy, and a bunch of them. And
and you married his wife.
Yeah, I did.
A year later.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's because I do that shit on purpose, man. Like to one group, I said it before, because they kept putting their hedges on when they don't want to drift with you, and then I was like, man, fuck this, I'm gonna bulldog these guys to show them that I'm better than them actually, and they don't know me, and then like I just kind of like, you know, again, life lesson, like you don't know how everybody's skill level is. If the guy's obviously got a shit car and is all banged up. But actually, that's not a good point, because some good drifters.
Yeah, dude, some of those guys out there with those freaking.
Yeah, that's not a good.
They have a door missing.
Yeah, ignore that. But if the car is fucked and the guy ain't killing it, then yeah.
Yeah.
If the car is fucked and the guy is
constantly because sometimes you'll see like a really shitty car, and then like the guy will get out, you're like, that's motherfucking Kumakubo.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like door. You're like, what's all the black marks? It's like doors. That's tire marks on the car being so close but not crashing. They're putting tire on door, which that's a weird
tire
feeling.
Is just rubbing against their car.
I've done it a few times. It's a weird feeling because it's like you get a scrub on one wheel, and then you gotta.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, there we go.
You feel like your wheel like vibrates like this a little bit. You feel like
you're like, oh, cool. I don't need brakes. I can just use your car. Thanks, appreciate it.
But that's in the tandem aspect, man. That's when you see those like somebody. I just hooked one of my driver Cadell. He posted a video of like the best lead run, and the lead run was phenomenal. But that lead run couldn't be phenomenal without the lead driver having good skills, and also that the following driver they know the guy. Like, I mean, the level's there, and you can't do a all out lead run. All out follow run if you don't have the confidence that the lead guy's not going to spin. Right. You know what I mean? So it's see like when I was witnessing Daigo and Daigo and Nakamura from Team Burst, dude, that was fucking nuts, dude. Like I never watched something. That was the first time drifting ever made me like my fucking blood boil in a good way. Like it was like motivational, because Daigo had a 1,000 horsepower car, and Nakamura's car is 580 horsepower borrowed car, not even his. And he basically, I think what I heard is he pulled the fucking the wastegate vacuum off, and it just like eat all the fucking boost you can eat, and that's what I heard happen. And that's the only thing I can explain why his car kept up with 1,000 horsepower confirmed.
Jeez,
that's 500 whole horsepower, man. That's
dude. That's another car.
Yeah, you've seen both of those guys drifting. They're both aggressive, but the way Nakamura was on his fucking door speaks to Daigo's skill, and Nakamura just not giving a fuck. And if he spins, I'm going through his door.
I'm going into him. And you see those all the time. And that was part of my issues, like back when I was trying to do Pro-Am here in the States, like back in like 2009, 2010, when I thought I could go Pro-Am, was the skill in America at that stage. It was good, but we weren't as good as like we couldn't do that inches away from people's door stuff, because we didn't have that skill level here. Like, you know, like I watch videos on, I'm a huge drifting fanboy, but like of old OG drifting. So I watch a lot of the old D1 videos, like from like, you know, like 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005 D1. I watch a lot of street drifting and toge drifting from like 95. And I watch some of these guys who are drifting, and they're going out there and they're drifting like kids you see now. Like you see kids now with 600 horsepower, and these dudes are in bone stock FCs back in 1993, getting freaking the same exact freaking smoke and angle and line and stuff, the same speed out of in '93, dude. A lot these dudes are in Japan getting smoke and angle out of a bone stock FC, and then you see freaking you look to today and you see kids in a 600 horsepower LS swapped something, and they're getting the same exact speed and smoke, and you're like, man, these guys in Japan have been killing it for a lot longer than we have. They've been doing it for 30 more years than we have, easily.
I was talking to I talked to Lexus King. I'm pretty sure you know Lexus. He knows you. And then I had Yoshi. You know Yoshi was on
I know
last
Yoshi,
week, and that was one thing we talked. There at that one point it was that, but the technology and the being in Japan, I can say this because I lived here for 11 years, and I've lived here. I mean, part of that was military, and the other part of that was like now. So I can speak on it. I'm not like some guy who came here once or twice, which I hate those fucking people who come here like once every 2 years, and
they think they're an expert.
They know every fucking thing, and they only hang out in Tokyo, which that's Japan. So to speak.
Yeah.
But anyway, like Japanese,
there's no Nagoya.
Yeah, their culture is they're stubborn. They're very stubborn. I know because I'm married to one. Very stubborn, very stuck in their ways.
More stubborn than a Scottish woman, because
I think I never had a Scottish woman before.
You want one? Because I'll trade you.
But yeah, man, they're very, 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 very like kind of. They don't want to move. They don't want to, try until somebody tries and it's proven. That's why, like, I get kind of like, pissed off a little bit. I've actually introduced some things, and they're like, all right, whatever, we don't care. Then again, Daigo comes out and do it because Daigo is Daigo Saito. Yep. He does it, and then it's like, all right, cool, let's do it because he's doing it. But it's like they got to have somebody that's notable in their eyes to do something, and then they'll hop on board. So now the tech is America, Australia, Europe. The tech is now Japan is behind.
Yes, in terms of the tech.
In terms of the tech, the driving skill is the driving skill, of course, because we got more seat time here, and also,
right. And that's what I was getting at. It's
more drifting, it's more technical time. So the more technical tracks they're better at, but the Japanese, like the long sweep, like it's like, well, Europe is kind of a midway. Australia is technical. America is just like you're looking at most of the drift days. They're just wide open parking lots, wide open sweepers,
100 mile an hour, fifth gear.
It's like everything is like that. And then like you look at if I had the time to do it, you can look at the modern, 3 mid-level drifters, mid-level to advanced drifters from all regions. You would see something and you would notice it, who touches the e-brake the most for corrections or entry. So like I see the American guys and they just drive like this. I don't know if you can see me, but they drive, They got the wheel, and they just they're driving, they got one hand, like they just keep doing this. They like keep bringing their hand up to the dude, fucking pull it or don't pull it. If you're thinking about pulling it, like you don't have to, you don't. And most of the times I see him pull it, you don't even fucking need it. You're already sideways. What are you? And and there's nobody in front of you. Like what are you correcting? Like what?
Now I don't really follow pro drifting that much. Was FD taking off points if they saw you correct your drift with the e-brake mid-turn?
Yeah. FD, I'm not talking about the pro guys because they do what they do, but I'm talking about the guys who are like some Pro 2 guys and guys who are like grass level.
Okay.
Everybody has this hydro shit now and is big and bulky, and it's not like they don't see when your hand reaches down off the screen when they got the end cap.
Yeah.
And you can just see them. They drive on one hand and they hover. It's like I'm going to fuck up. I'm like, dude, if you're doing that, whatever, that's your style. But if you fucking chuck it in and throw it in, like Luke Fink hates the e-brake, like he'll talk shit about it. I've seen him use it, but it's a tool. It's an initiation tool, which you got to do a high angle initiation drift when you don't. If you're going third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear, initiate. Like I had Jake on here, you don't generally Scandinavian flick into that because you're going 200 fucking mile per hour almost.
No.
You don't Scandinavian flick into that.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't guys don't like turning away from there. But when you go that fast, and then you yank the e-brake, your steering, and then you start your thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So but it's like some guys, man, they don't. Number one, you guys, you fucks, you never watch a drift bobble. And you like that's what you need to do. If you're a young guy watching,
you need to go back to your roots.
You need to watch a drift ball because there's a lot of data in that DVD that I watched, you watch, everybody from the era watched the shit out of it. JR's watched it, Forsberg's watched it, D'Angelo's Tony whatever the guy from New Jersey,
Tony Angelo, yeah,
Angelo's watched it, and all those guys we've all. From that time frame, everybody watched those DVDs, and then they have that shit. A lot of guys just get into it. They don't get the basics. They get a S14 with an LS, and they suck because they never had that KA or that single overcam KA or the or the SR5 with they come with the. It's not the 4AG, but it's like whatever.
The 4AC motor.
4AC carb or whatever. And so they don't have those low end skills, and they get in these cars, man. Badass car, crash, and never see him again, and that's the trend. Hot boy, Instagram, crash, never see him again, and they keep
Instagram fame. These dudes, and that's kind of like where I feel bad. Like I would love to see a series, and this is just me being old, a boomer, right? I would love to see a series that kind of puts a cap on that. Like, hey, if you bring out an S13, it needs to have a KA in it, you know.
Yeah.
I would love to see it where they're like, hey, let's have a like a proper street car series. You can have an exhaust, you can have coils, you can have a weld. Let's have some fun. Let's see who could drift 155 horsepower S13. Because I have a feeling a lot of these really good people can't.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna organize an event that require like it'll piss some people off, but it'll bring you know what it do? It'll bring in those guys that really do have stock cars. Like if your car, I mean, even if this means stock turbo, stock, it'll be hard to regulate this because most people cars are modified. So I got to think hard about this. But I got plenty of cars that are stock outside.
Yeah.
I could bring it and drive it. And it's just like a fun event. Like I would say the cap would be maybe, because most stock cars, they don't have over 320 horsepower. Like, depending on if you're coming out with a Corvette, then it's stock, then they're cool. You got a Corvette. LS7
you just
or
happen to have 650 horsepower.
Yeah, or a Hellcat or whatever the fuck. But it's stock, so you're in there. But they do.
Most people who are drifting a Hellcat probably don't have the skill to drift a Hellcat.
Right, that's cool. Then so they do have the Hachiroku event. So this can work in theory. There was it was an NA, MSP holds an NA event, so your car has to be NA. And I had an S14. It's cool because there's all NA cars, but then there was like the one guy had an NA fucking something, and I got the NA 1UZ 4-liter,
wow.
So I'll hold the NA event and I'll come in there with that car, so it's like modified. It's
stock. It's the stock engine.
But yeah, that would definitely be something, an event I will hold, a theme for an event I will hold, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I'll write it down.
That would be fun, dude. I would bring out the Porsche. It's NA and bone stock.
Well, you have to bring it over to Japan, so that I can.
Oh, that's right. Too. I'll just buy another Porsche and then just leave it there. Like I'll do like the guys in Dubai, buy a really expensive car, drive it till it runs out of gas, and then just leave it.
Those guys actually do that because I found out they actually left. They left the country because they couldn't. Those cars are all leased and loan.
Oh.
If you don't pay the lease and loan, I've heard execution or close to it. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
They actually leave it because that's the penalty for that. Because the money that they're borrowing, it belongs to the dudes, the princes and shit.
Oh yeah.
So they see it like, you're not gonna pay my money, so fuck you. And I could definitely see that happening. Because
if it was my money, I'd probably be a little harsh. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the dude I'll loan you this much, and then you're good for it, and then they don't pay, and then that's what I heard. All those cars are abandoned like that because they are the guy is gone. The guy is like left, or he's already dead. If I was a guy, I would kind of take the car back and sell it or whatever. Export
eBay.
it. I'm pretty sure somebody's selling Ferraris and shit.
Yeah, some stupid American will buy it.
Yeah, all sand and shit all in it and everything. But yeah, man, that's definitely something I'll look at doing. Event like that because it'll bring different people. Then of course I have or actually what I'll do, it'll probably be better is maybe half it or just have a session where you can still bring your cars, but the guys who got a certain power, or group it 150 to 180 horsepower.
Yeah,
that would probably be better because you can have a stock car and compete or come to that event, but it would be a bunch of dudes because if I'm going to pay for the event, I got to pay up front. I got to pay the money. So
Right.
I can't just have 15 guys show up, and I can't get my
This
money.
is true.
Back. Yeah,
And that's the thing. I mean, I think either way it'll be fun, dude. I think if you could somehow use your connections to get a whole bunch of really high skill people out there with like stock S13s or stock Hachirokus, or
we all
like
got
stock stock AE31s and shit, dude, or rather Z31s and shit, or A31s, dude. People, that would be such a cool event because you'd have all these freaking like high level drivers with bone stock cars, like welded diffs and like factory LSDs and stuff out there freaking killing it.
And that was something good. The people, I mean, I bring up my stuff because I mean it's my own stuff. But when I had the NA at the time, it was NA the JZX 100, and it was automatic. And I was at the event. And I was like, "Fuck it, man! I came to the event to do some business." And I was like, my car was there, so I was like, I got in it and I paid. And the guy's like, man, we was wondering why when you come down there, like it would go like, I'm like, yeah. That's because I'm like the fucking car was doing whatever it wanted. They came to the pits and it was like, dude, you were drifting automatic. I'm like, yeah. He's like, how the fuck? I'm like, just go fast, like just go fast and just throw that shit sideways. And you're like, okay.
But yours is also open diff, right?
The first video I shot that was open diff, and then so I actually didn't do video, and I was tandeming with cars like I welded it, so it was a lot easier when at the event. The open thing, you had to go really wide and then wait for the transmission to fucking realize I need to lower. And it was like so you had to go wide on purpose to get a transmission time to catch up. Then it would kick in, and you would kind of go like,
dude. But you hit the nail on the head, man. When I'm drifting my Mercedes, no one cared that it was a V12. They thought that was cool. They're like, oh, V12, it sounds cool and it looks cool when you pop the hood. You got a V12, that's cool. But so many people, no one cared that it was a Mercedes. They were just like, oh, what manual transmission are you running? I'm like, it's an automatic, and they're like, it's an automatic? I'm like, you can drift an automatic, especially with the Mercedes, because the Mercedes lets you lock it in a specific gear and it won't shift. You lock that 722.6 transmission. When you lock it into a gear, it's in that gear. So it's nice when you just like slap it in the second, slap it in the third, and you're just sitting there boiling the tires. But I mean, I'm like, I'm like, guys, we're doing 50 miles an hour. You just use the momentum of the turn to get the car sideways. I don't need a clutch to drift.
Right.
I was like, I'll come out here with a manual transmission and never touch the clutch. I've seen me drift manual transmission cars without clutching in or clutch kicking. You just use the momentum of the vehicle, inertia.
Yeah. Yes, that's I guess that's one of the things. Again, I run a performance shop, man, but I don't and I can do wild and crazy. I don't honestly have the cash to, I got a bunch of cars out there, but it's like I see so many people they're trying to do the most with the least amount of support or the least amount of resources versus staying within their realm and getting more track time, man. Because it's like you spend so much time building these cars up, you don't race for 2 years because you're just putting everything you have into it. Then you get on the track and the cars is way beyond your skill sets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where FD guy can get in it, do a few laps, and he done. Most guys are not at that level, man.
Yeah, you don't have that skill. And it's different when it's like somebody like yourself or myself. I mean, even to me, like right now, I haven't been back on track since 2018 because I've been building a car. But, the joke I tell people is I go, you know what, I've been at that, when I did my event in 2018, at that point, I had 10 years of motorsports experience on track. I think I deserve a hiatus. I could take a break. When you have a decade of drifting when you have a decade of drifting experience, you can take an extended break. You can take a 1 or 2 year break, get back in the car, do a few shakedown laps, and be good to go.
Yeah.
It's not like you're a first time. It's not like you're the kid that's got 3 events and then you say, I'm going to go pro, so that you take 3 years to build a car and then wonder why you suck. Right. If Forsberg decided he's going to take 5 years away from drifting and he didn't even so much as drive a rear wheel drive car for 5 years, he would get back on track, and it would be like he never stopped drifting.
Right, because it's embedded. It's like it's part of you. It's like you walk, and it's kind of like weird thinking, man. You go around and like everybody out there. The way I walk to humans is like, I wonder what the fuck this person's good at, man. Because myself, I'm good at multiple things. Right, the things the music, the cars, the sports, the working on people's shit and all that stuff. And it's like people, they would never know that just looking at you. They would never know that you're a fucking pro drifter. They would never know.
I love that. Because when they see videos of you drifting and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
yeah. So it's like, it's like the way I think is like, what is this guy? What does he do? Like, he got to have some skill, man. Like his armpit, armpit farting or something.
You're giving people too much credit. Yeah. I run into normal people look at me. Every single day I run into normal people with no talent.
Yeah.
They have nothing to speak of. They're not even really good at what they do for a living. They do their job good enough to stay employed.
You're talking about Tammy who you say no pickles and onions and this fucking double pickles and onions on it. You want more. You want more.
Dude, I'm talking about people that get paid what I get paid.
Yeah.
And I don't make a small amount of money. I'm talking about people that get paid, that are working at the same level that I do, get paid the same kind of money or more money than I do. Yeah. And you're like, so what do you do like outside of this? And they're like, I like to watch TV or read books. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm all about reading a good book. I'm actually wrapping up.
What, Curious George?
I've got Tom Clancy's Duty and Honor, and then in the bedroom, in my bedroom I have the Zucked book. It's it's called Waking Up to the Facebook Catastrophe, and it's all about like what would life. It starts off talking about what life would be without social media, and then it goes into kind of like a pseudo documentary style, like a non-biographical of. How social media affects different people, the science behind it, like the psychology behind. Anyway, so it's a good book. So
is it audio?
No, they have it.
The reason I'm mad because
they do have it on Audible.
I listen to audio in the garage when I'm working on cars.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, they do have it on Audible if you're curious. It's really good. Like it's one of those things. Like I think if I was listening, it helps me walk away from it because it is a book. I can close the book, dog ear the page, and walk away. If it was an audio book, man, I would be listening to it like as you and I are talking right now. I'd be listening to it. But but that's what those people do. They're like, I read books. I'm like, but what are your talents? What are your hobbies? They're like, I don't really have a hobby. I don't really have any. Can you sing? Do you play saxophone? What do you do? Are you good with your hands? Can you like piece together? Do you do puzzles?
That's true. So you nailed it. I did. I do because again we're multi-talented guys. So I assume that everybody else is like that. I guess that's a bad way of thinking, man.
It's not bad. You're just giving people a lot of credit.
Yeah. You're like, man, you can't be this fucking stupid, man. Like, dude. Like I'm not. I dropped out of college, but that's still like, that doesn't measure. I mean, shit. Zuck's a college dropout. Everybody's a college dropout.
Well, yeah. So, but the thing is, see, because you are who you are, and you choose to surround yourself with people that are similar.
Right.
You don't. I will never accuse you of ever hanging out with people that are beneath you, unless it's like strictly for business or strictly to make some sort of connection with someone else. You don't surround yourself with people who are not like you, or people who have multiple hands in multiple different pots for multiple different venues. Right. You surround yourself with people like that, so it's hard, especially when you step outside of that social circle and you get around what I call normies. You get around the normies, and you're like, hey, so. They have no idea. They drive a Honda. They have no idea what's going on in that Honda. So you're like, okay, you're a guy and you don't know how to change your own tire, or you don't know how to change a wheel on the side of the road. Okay, that's fine. And then like you get to know them, and you realize this dude, like the extent of his life is social media. He's really good at making memes.
Yeah, and Then they got that's true, man. Like you got the dudes who don't do much outside of that, but they go. That social media is creating a different social media, like you said. I want to check that out because I'm curious to see what Zuckerberg is saying. One thing is, I'm very open about this, man. If it wasn't for social media, like the amount of money I made from even MySpace at the time, because I was selling stuff on there, Facebook marketplace, not the marketplace, but more like the wheel groups, like that. I made $25,000 selling wheels on Facebook, dude. Which means that if I didn't have Facebook, it would be Craigslist. But then Craigslist is like fucking crazy people.
Yeah,
Facebook is like So, dude, it's something that's historically instrumental. Will never go. Facebook, even if it goes away, something else like it is going to pop back up, and everybody's going to get on. So it builds people on it. It connects people. And it's weird when a guy tells me for whatever reason he's not on it. You get kind of it's weird, man. Trump's on fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
So it makes like something's wrong with this person, man. Like you don't want to be like socially connected. Not saying you gotta, because I'm alone most of the time, but still. Yeah. I like you said, you got the family group. I talk to my mom, stay in contact that way, and the business stuff and quick contact. We keep up, and stuff like that. And when people's like, no, doing this, like, dude, something's wrong with you. When you generally talk to those people one on one, they can't hold a conversation. They can't look you in the eyes. They can't do a lot of stuff, man. And it's like they're weird.
You need something. I mean, that connection needs to be there. It's very odd when I talk to people, but I'll tell you what, there's a rise. I don't know about in Japan, but in America,
there's a fax machine.
Yeah, there's a rising trend of the Generation Z, the Zoomers. They are less likely to utilize things like they still use social media, but they don't use. They're not utilizing Facebook. They're your Instagram, their Snapchat, and stuff like that. So. They utilize that more quick access TikTok and Byte, and they don't utilize Facebook. Facebook's too slow. Facebook's too permanent. They don't like it. They want stuff that they have a quick conversation. It's gone.
Right.
I find it interesting.
You probably can't hear, man, but you can come up in my shop assistant and buddy Kwann is rolled in. He has
hey there, Kwann. How's it going?
He has a broken wrist, man, so take it easy on him. So,
okay, I will be nice to you because you have a broken wrist.
Yeah, I need to get the because I never have so you can't really even hear. I don't have anything to hear and everything, but
you don't have a spare set of headphones?
Nah, man, I'm only by myself all the time. You probably can. Yeah, well, that's your wife's though. You got a hair.
Well, no, I've got these. I've got headphones. You have to have spare headphones.
God damn, dude. But I mean, you got an IMAX theater in your basement, so.
I do.
A little bit.
I do have an IMAX.
So I'm putting speaking of that, man, the you do like I have a Mitsubishi something like a 2001 model DLP projector. Mm-hmm. So right now I'm setting up a thing so I can do. I got my jiu-jitsu mats here, and I want to do like a UFC. Like people always watch UFC and they want to fucking do stuff at the same time, and that's what I'm setting up. So now you say I could do this. I'm like, nah, actually you can't. Let's get on the mats and I'll show you why you can't do that.
I'll show you how much you can't do that.
In a grappling situation, and but the monitor I installed right in line with the lights. So my thing is to either get auxiliary lights on the side and turn the center light off, but I'm looking for an affordable LED. And I'm pretty sure you probably know affordable LED monitor that's good in low light situations like a bar. Like bar lighting is not dark, but it's not dark in there, but it's not bright. But the projector still is clear because they do a lot of UFC parties.
Okay, so wait, are you saying you want an LED projector or an LED television?
Projector.
Okay.
Have you seen any? Do you know of any that's like like under $1,000 that has a good throw and?
Well, my projector is an Epson 2150, and I bought it when it released, and it was $899, and it was $899 plus tax. So I got that for under $1,000. I'm pretty sure you can get an Epson 2150 for probably under $700 now. They're really good. It's HD. It's not 4K.
Right.
But it's LED. It's really bright. It's 2,500 lumen. I always keep it in eco mode, and even when I've got all the theater lights on, I can still watch movies.
Really? Yeah, I'm gonna check that out then. Because that's the thing is,
they make it brighter. They have Epson, there's an Epson 3000
Yeah.
It's a little more expensive, but it's a 3,000 lumen projector. That's really bright.
Yeah.
That's real bright.
Cool, man. But like I say, since Kwann just came in, man, like, where'd you just come from, man?
Just went to drop the. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear
just
you.
went to
Go ahead.
drive.
Can you actually hear him?
I can, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Because he can hear you because the mics. I'm gonna get my bed next time out, so you can hear. Well, Dave, this is Kwann. Kwann is like one of the guys. Like he's,
Nice to meet you.
military. He's he's like 23 years old. And he's an E6. No, just fucking
Wow.
maybe like 26,
27.
27. He's an E6. So he's he's one of those guys.
Oh, he's the person that we all beat up. Okay, cool.
That tests well.
Yeah, we would slap the crap out of that guy. We'd be like, "Oh, come on, tell me what to do. I dare you."
Yeah. Dude, that's my guy, man. Me and Dave met like back in. He was a Marine.
Okay.
We met back in when it was before I joined. He was at Henderson at near the Pentagon.
Oh wow.
He's like right near where the Air Force. Before the Air Force Memorial wasn't there, so you know where you guys are at Henderson Hall.
Yeah.
Right down the street is the Air Force Memorial with a little. You've seen it before.
Yep.
So that's right down the street from your you guys' barracks or whatever.
Oh, nice.
You guys, they don't call it dorms, even though it's the same shit.
It's not a dorm
Yeah.
because we're not in college.
Yeah.
We don't have sex with each other.
But yeah, man. But man, like I said, Kwann, man, is one of the guys who he's about to leave soon. But like helping out in the shop background and everything, and he's got the Red 34 you seen out there. But but yeah, man. So you just got picking up the engine and everything, and so everything was good with that?
Oh yeah, everything was good. Hitting the money. It was cool. So
Okay.
everything knocked out. Trying to put the crank back on it down there. So
You probably that's a 240 block sitting right there. It's like $5,000 I got to put inside the shop.
yeah.
But then his crank is in downstairs too. So
Yeah, I
that
saw
was
that, yeah.
The crank was about the crank's in the car.
Okay.
Crank's about $2,000. So it was like But anyway, we're talking about Dave as a customer. I got an R34 coming in, and he wanted to get because the RB26 has 4 different blocks. There's like the triple R, which is like the top, like the R tune, and then you got the 24U, which is like the N1 and all that stuff, and then you got the 05U, and actually 3. Then you got the 05U, which is the standard one that everybody else uses, but he wanted to get it's a more dense. The casting is more. It's more thick. It's more dense or whatever. They do a density test, and the casting is more refined so that you can put more power down without cracking things. Because even the 05U blocks, there's acceptable, allowable microscopic cracks in it. That's there.
Oh.
But it's still. It says if it's not this wide, if it's not this long, it's good to go. But these cracks are in the water jackets. So if you're pushing 8-9 horsepower, those cracks are gonna they're gonna open up. It's just the fracturing from the casting and all that stuff.
And can you say that one more time for the kids in the back that believe you could just buy a Supra or a Skyline? Like the second you buy a 25-year-old Skyline, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to put 800 horsepower to the ground.
They're capable of it, but what it is for one thing, I don't order parts on Fridays, and was Friday significant. People want to go home. It's a weekend. Same thing at the factories. Even though they work on the weekends, Friday castings, they say it's casting on Friday or made on Friday, you get the defective part.
Yeah,
that's true, man. Because the ones that are made on the weekends, like they said, it sits in the autoclave longer, and that does something to like the metal, and it makes them more brittle. Versus the ones that sit in the autoclave for a shorter time. It's like that. I mean, science was cool, but I didn't pay attention too much. But the molecular levels and the way
some guy was talking, and I was just like, wow, this is boring.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, man, like the metal is different, and like your RB26 block from 1989 is not the same as the one from 1993. The metals was different, the processing was different. The manager maybe sucked, and he was hard on the workers, and he was like, "Fuck this," and took it out of autoclave.
I have a hard on my workers, yeah.
But yeah, man, that's why my customers, I don't treat every car as different, and your engine is not his engine, is not his engine. I got 5 R33s out there. They're all different power.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. So
that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying, say it one more time for the kids in the back, because I have so many people that see like the cars that I like. The cars I like to buy. Yeah, and they'll like see one of those cars.
Shit that you don't got to work on because.
Yeah, there's no way I'm working on my cars. No, thank you.
He sold. Which car was that you sold because the alternator died?
Oh, I don't even.
Camaro?
Was it Was it the Camaro? It was.
Yeah. He fucking alternator died. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a new car, man.
That's the solution. Start over.
But he's black, but he's really white, man. He's really
Yikes.
Yeah, man, so he
But,
drives.
that's the stuff I get, man. I see these kids will talk to me about like my Porsche or whatever, and they will be like, "Oh, I'll stomp you I'll go buy an R32 GTST and stomp you." I'm like, in what reality will you beat a Porsche anything?
Yeah.
A modern Porsche.
Maybe
anything.
a 2J swap GTST with like a huge turbo, and even then,
Maybe.
like, your Porsche's all-wheel drive, correct?
No, mine's rear-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive. So that'll be a more fair. But that's when you get into hybrids. That's kind of like when again we talk about the fastest car when it's Civic, which I think his was all-wheel drive K-Series swap. So he did the all-wheel. So it wasn't just a K-Series swap. It was all-wheel drive.
So it had launch.
And that Civic would have beat. Did you watch it on Netflix?
No, not really.
Well, it's your account on watching it on. So
He's like, so technically,
I didn't get on it.
Yeah, they're probably gonna fucking blacklist me for saying that and shit. But everybody shares accounts. But yeah, man, he gave me Netflix like a little while ago, and I was like, damn, man, I haven't basically bought a DVD. I haven't rented a DVD in like almost a year and a half because why?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway. That Civic would have fucking won that competition. All-wheel drive, lightweight power ratio, and that's what matters. And that's where, like, again, you had the Monster Miatas. You had like the back in the day the MG with the V8 or the those lightweight cars with V8s in it, like
on the power, yeah.
But it's the engine's still stock because the Cappuccino, which I'll eventually get to, I'll probably tune the engine maybe 380, 400 horsepower, but I don't need. I'm using a W58 for example.
400 horsepower in a Cappuccino.
Power to weight ratio is estimated at 1,200 horsepower.
Good lord, dude.
Yeah, so
400 horsepower in a Cappuccino. That's silly.
Yeah, when the original engine is 660 cc's or something like that.
Yeah, like 64 horsepower.
Yeah, I don't think even that much. What is? I think they got an NA ones. They're about 85 maybe.
Really? They're that high?
I mean, the high ones you're looking at about 115. That's like big numbers right there, man. 115 horsepower, and that's.
And you're gonna do 400 horsepower.
Yeah, so the car is gonna be wide. I'm gonna have to widen it out, lengthen it out. I'm using W58 transmission because it's smaller.
Right.
W58s, they don't really take over 380.
Yeah,
but
no.
I don't need that much. And then also, if I went with the R154. The engine, I would have to modify my seat, like, and the trans would be like on my thigh and shit, because so the whole transformer is getting cut out, and the trans it will stick in the cabin, and I have to make a cover on top of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gonna be silly. You're gonna time travel, by the way.
Yeah, and it was the bad part is not bad part. I just gotta make sure my shit's tight, which it will be. The clutch flywheel will rotate by my legs.
That's not scary.
Nah.
So nah, man.
I just have to put like a steel plate right there on that side.
Man,
it's like
7,000 RPM.
Yeah, just sit the plate right there. Don't even bolt it in. It's like laid on the side, and then the shit comes through the bell housing. And I mean, I never had a clutch come off before, so hopefully that'll keep.
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
Yeah, that would suck.
Literally
I would say the trans will be cylinders 5 and 6 are going to be inside the cab. So that'll put the transmission it'll be at the flywheel will rotate exactly at my kneecaps. So it'll cut the knees off. It'll cut it's like it'll cut the fucking legs off.
Yeah, God.
Like I'll just be sitting in the fucking chair like, what the fuck now? Like, what do I do now? Like, and I've been in Iraq for years, but they were like, I was like, yeah, I got
that. Yeah, they'd be like, oh man, you lost your legs in Iraq. No,
I definitely won't take
it was a cappuccino. Oh, what? You were drinking too much coffee and you lost your legs? What happened? Some weird diabetic response to caffeine?
Yeah, I definitely won't tell them that I had a flywheel rotating.
Yeah, dude.
8,000 RPMs next to my kneecaps.
Nope, you got to tell them that you were like working in your shop and a car exploded.
Yeah.
Because someone shot at your house.
Actually, believe it or not, man, as long as I actually just thought about that while I was talking to you. I didn't think about that until just now, that the flywheel will be rotating next to my legs.
Yeah, it changes your reality. You have kids.
Well, I'll put because the the NHRA guys got to have the scatter shields and a scatter blanket.
Yeah.
So I'll get 2 of those. I'll put one under the fucking thing, and I'll put one. I'll make a metal dughouse. I'm bullshitting around. I'm not gonna. Definitely not trying to die that way. So I'm gonna make a
really stupid way to die.
Yeah. Make a scatter blanket, scatter shield, and put it over there, and like double that shit up. That way. I mean, I installed like that JZX90 I just did, and I posted up about it. I showed the customer. I was like, "This is why like you pay the money you pay." I took this bolt. His flywheel bolt was like crooked because they reuse it, and it's a stretch bolt.
Yeah.
So you torque it down 30 something foot-pounds, and you torque it 90 degrees, and shit like that. Science stuff, and they reuse it multiple times. So I'm like in a racing situation that's gonna snap. Then if 1 or 2 snap, that's when the flywheel is going to do its thing, and it's going to go wherever the fuck it wants to go.
It's going to do its thing.
Yeah, and
it's going to do flywheel stuff.
Yeah, odds are it'll probably come and like take your feet off.
In a situation like that, could you not use something like 1/4-inch steel inside the cab? It's not like you're adding too much weight to the car.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's like
the car weighs 8 pounds with you in it. So you add 1/4-inch steel.
I'm actually gonna lighten it up some more and get rid of some of the stuff. It's too heavy right now, I believe. And then
it's too heavy. Yeah. It weighs 700 pounds.
Yeah, man. Actually, that's the bet in my whole shop, man. That's the only car I don't mind pushing around. Like the other cars, like the fucking the Z and the
yeah.
It's like you literally just take it out of gear and you blow on it, cappuccino, and it moves.
You pick it up and you put it in your back pocket and you walk around with it, and then you forget you have it back there. You go home. And you're like, oh shit! I brought my cappuccino home again.
So essentially, it's an engine stand with it's just like an engine stand with wheels. It's kind of what the cappuccino is going to be. So it's going to be weird. I'm definitely going to do it. We're trying to get in Tokyo Auto Salon right now. I'm wrapping up a little bit, but we're trying to get in Tokyo Auto Salon for 2021, and that's going to be the car I'm going to use. And it does have 2 years. We call it JCI of shock-in. It's like road register. So I got number plates for it. So I got a year and a half of this. Just fucking around with people, like on a highway, man.
What wheels are you gonna put on this thing? Are you gonna rock like the stock 13s or 14s or whatever? Or are you just gonna boil them?
Because it's so small, I can widen it out extremely and still fit on a trailer. Because it's only like the car is it's not wider than this table, so I can make it wide and not because you make a GTR or R33 wide, you can't fit on a standard car trailer, and then your body kit would hit the side. So I can make this car really, really wide, like RWB style, and still fit on a trailer.
And so you're gonna run square wheels, basically.
Probably, and then like it's got to be, it has to be wide. So for diff, I'm looking at probably going with a Subaru because it's not it's R180, which is actually believe it or not, the cappuccino diff is actually not small. It's weird. It's not like it's not puny. The diff is bigger than the Subaru diff, believe it or not.
Oh wow!
It's bigger than the Subaru R160. It's like a little bit bigger than the R180, but it's still small. But it's weird how it looks. But I can't use it because the input shaft is just like it's like this size for the input shaft. So you don't want to make an adapter to go to that, because again,
you don't want to go from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch.
Right, because the drive shaft's only gonna be like this long. It's gonna be like the Corvette one. It's gonna be like maybe 12 inches. That's it. That's all it's gonna be, man. So
that's 12 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
You fucking knew what you were going to say.
You have that conversation with your wife a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Only half.
Yeah, it's like 8 inches.
Yeah.
Like 8 inches.
It's fucking deep, man. Like that's crazy, man. But yeah, man. So what do you got? What do you got? Anything coming up soon? Actually, what's the drift tag? I mean, this is way in the fucking end, so the people that they're gonna watch for 15 minutes, so they're gonna miss all this shit.
Yeah, this is the stuff they're gonna miss.
I need to start doing the clips, man. I need to start doing the clips. But what do you got going on, man?
Drift taxi. So my drift taxi, I just bought that 6-liter LS for it, which I know is blasphemous to put a freaking American engine in a Mercedes, but whatever. Yeah. We're doing it because we want to go with, and we're going to put a CD009 transmission on it.
Right.
And we're going to just send that. My drivers are doing fantastically. Stu is getting his car rebuilt for this season. Barry is already out there drifting in his Infiniti M67, we call it, because that's got a 6.7 liter freaking LS motor with a supercharger on it. And then Jake is building his Audi A6 with an LS. So we're all going to have LS motors. It's going to be really fun. And then outside of that, really, I'm kind of sidelining and I'm kind of running the show. I'm doing a lot of the talking, a lot of trying to get people on board to help support us by making partnerships, by making friends. I'm not looking for sponsors. I'm looking for people who actually want to see us succeed, not people who are just looking to advertise. I want to meet people and get good relationships with them so they want to see Drift Taxi succeed. That's what I want. So aside from that, man, a lot of what my days consumed, especially since I just spent a whole bunch of money on this. The Porsche is due for its annual service, and then the Mercedes is due right on the back of that. And both of those cars are really expensive for their annual service. So I watch movies, and I sit in my room a lot. I don't do anything because everything costs money.
Yeah, well, you're at Raytheon now or before?
No, I actually left Raytheon. I'm at Crow now. I'm a cloud engineering manager there. So I'm at a managerial level of a cloud engineer. So they pay me like a manager to write code. It's nice.
So cloud. So you're doing like cloud engines, like networking or data.
Yeah, well, cloud. Think of all of the infrastructure on-prem. So all of your virtual machines, all of your servers, your network. All of the security that's involved around that, but in the cloud. So Amazon Web Services, Azure for Microsoft, Google Cloud Platform, your DigitalOcean, Rackspace to a degree. We're kind of investing in the infrastructure and migration of all the on-prem stuff out to that, because in the beginning it cost a lot of money, but at the end of the day, once all the numbers are ran by the end of the year, companies are saving millions and millions of dollars on infrastructure costs because they don't need to host any of that stuff on-prem. It's all out somewhere else doing other stuff.
Right. So in all that stuff you just said, so you get to see nudes and shit? Or
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, you said a lot of stuff, but so basically all I'm hearing is that you get 10 gig per second porn is what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, yes. It's like, you say cloud. I'm like I was thinking about the cloud when the celebrities like stupidly upload their shit to the cloud. Like, dude, I don't care how secure Apple is. Somebody's seeing that shit, man. Like, even I got my Dropbox stuff. Like, I make sure, it's like.
Well, see, that's the thing. So that's why you get a lot of stuff now, especially as a lot of so even at Raytheon, they have GovCloud, and a lot of these so Crow has a healthcare aspect to it. So you get a lot of these things that are trying to move HIPAA, PHI, classified, secret, top secret classified into the cloud. You cannot do that with current cloud technology. So now you're getting a lot of what's called double encryption, where no one can see it. Only the people uploading the content can see the content. Even if you're working at the data center, if you were to log into that server manually, physically log into that server, all you would see is a bunch of encrypted stuff.
But that's not that doesn't come at a cheap price, correct?
No, GovCloud. So GovCloud itself, GovCloud is live now for AWS, for Amazon Web Services, and GovCloud is 150% of the cost. So take whatever you would pay to host a server in AWS, add 150% to it, so it's double the cost, then another 50% on top of that.
Right.
Because of the things like your server side double encryption, where no one other than you, and it's to the point where if you upload something and you have this double encryption going, if you lose your encryption key, or you somehow get how to restore it or recover any of that stuff, it's gone.
What I do is I save all my passwords on my Dropbox. That's what I do.
Nice. You do that.
So I got a notepad, but I put for Pornhub, I don't put Pornhub, I put PH. So tripping people out and shit, man.
That is G14 classified shit right there.
So actually, now that I said it, I got to take them off because the password key is buried in 5 different folders, and it's an arbitrary word that I get I just search for, and it brings up because I'm dude, I use the same password, but I just changed
Stop it.
One character
Stop thinking things. Stop talking. Stop
Well,
thinking the whole.
I changed all my passwords today, man.
I use the same password for everything. So once somebody hacks one account,
yeah, you just get them all. But hey, when you guys are actually connected somehow, because you were in Okinawa for what?
2012, 2014.
I mean,
Wow.
you were far gone, but you were.
Yeah.
What base were you at?
I was at is it Camp Hansen?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, Marines got like fucking 80 posts, right?
Yeah, and we're on everybody. So we're still at Fatema. We're at Kadena.
Mm-hmm.
We're at all those places. We're at Geiger. Well, Camp Geiger. That's a Marine Corps installation.
Yeah.
But we're at what's it? Foster, Camp Foster.
Camp Foster.
That's an Army
Hey,
installation.
send me the picture real quick, man. I know you still got it, the 33.
Oh no, you're gonna have.
So I want to show.
I gotta try to find that.
No, worry about it. While he's trying to find it, we were like, he brought up he had this thing where you go back in time and see the old websites and shit. So we brought up the old websites and everything and from back in the day. But the shit from back in 2000 is still better than new Japanese websites. The way they run and stuff. Like HKS and told me theirs a little bit polished. It's like dark and everything's there. But most Japanese websites suck, man. Like they still use fax machines. So. But
yes.
we was trying to show you we'll find a picture of him when he crashes R33 GTST. And
I will try.
It looked like it was on the last one. Don't worry about it, man.
Basically if you pick. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Photo Bucket, which is where this is how long ago that picture was taken. That it's on Photo Bucket. Yeah. Photo Bucket has started doing this thing where if you have more than like 25 megs worth of photos on there, they lock down your account. So I always have to go in and I have to kind of circumvent that.
Yeah. Well, that sucked because the Photo Bucket and the Image Shack, I used to do the write-ups, and now all my write-ups got the missing dad things. Like the 404 or whatever. Like you said, man. So like all those are this white squares with red X's.
Let me see if I can open this. Oh, okay, there we go. Copy image.
Yeah, send it to me on Skype.
I'll send it to you on Skype. All right. There's the chat. Can I send image? Can you send images on Skype? We're about to find out. Yes, I can. There we go.
Oh shit! Did it come up in a? 1 second. Let me bring my. So send the. What the hell?
This is what happens when you stop using computers back in the Windows XP days.
Yeah. Well, it's got a thing on it, but then I can't see one Skype and it's not coming up.
What if I send you the link?
Yeah, just send me the link. That'll be better.
Let's see.
Oh shit.
Cancel. Was that a text box with the red on it?
Yeah, okay. Because everything that shows up, everything that's on my screen is like covering my face right now.
Yeah.
But I seen the card with the shit, man. I just like wasting time right now. But the just send it to me on the messenger and I'll look it up.
Oh my God! Make up your mind. Yeah. There you go.
God damn it!
Kaping.
Well, now I gotta drag your image over here and put it over here because now the thing is frozen.
Oh no!
That's awesome. Like I clicked on the feed of your Skype, but I'm just gonna drag it over and enlarge it and make the editing really suck for myself. It's really gonna suck, man.
That's gonna be so fun, dude. You have so much skill.
Yeah.
To learn. Right now.
To learn. So.
This is actually what makes podcasts fun are these seconds upon seconds of awkward silence between two people that are very much capable of carrying a conversation.
Yeah, while looking for shit and all that stuff. But man, it's man, what the fuck?
I don't know, dude. You forgot how to use a computer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, immediately. As soon as you were like, hey, send that to me, it was like, all right, cool, I'm going to send it. And then you were like, yeah, actually don't.
Yeah,
Can I not paste this as a link? Oh, there we go. How does that work? Can you click on that link?
What link?
I just sent you a link in Skype chat.
Well, the thing about the Skype chat is it kind of defaults to the. Oh, there you go. Let me get this out of here. So just
Get that shit out of there.
Wave your hand.
Nah, there it is.
Yeah, man. See, I gotta figure this out. Why it does. So when I click on the, so now it's there. So when I click on the, I'm just gonna leave it up. God damn it, man. Fuck.
You're having a hard time, brother.
No, it's gonna make my editing suck. But the when I click on the, fuck this, man. Let me just open this damn thing up. Let me see, it's gonna be open image or open. See. Yeah, just talk, man.
No. This is gonna be awkward for everyone. I want people to just be watching this like, man, what the actual fuck is going on?
They made it this far on the podcast, man.
They deserve a break. They're like, holy crap, that one dude is loud.
Yeah. No, they made it this far, man. They're good to go. With the screen capture, text, web page.
Yeah. I like how you can't like do things without speaking out loud as like a narration of what you're doing. What you need is like a Morgan Freeman back there.
Hey, dude, you know what, man? You just sent me the picture, and it was already on my desktop from the last time you sent it.
Wow. These are the magical moments, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Night Magic Media joining in with Donald Jackson, a.k.a. the Big Game.
I'm going to hide myself for a second so people can see. So you don't see me, but so what the hell happened, man? Like, so for the people who just tuning in.
For the people that are just tuning in, they see a wrecked R33.
The whole fucking car. I just picked up a car that looks almost like yours, but it's in the front. But they took the kit off of it, so the shit.
Nice.
So you put all the shit. So where's the car? Is the car parked in like the visitor center off base, or is it on base?
So what you see here, what's pictured here is an Ethiopian standing next to his R33 colorized.
Yeah. That was GTST.
This was a GTS 25. And it hit a lot of things hard. It was one of those things where at the time it's too much power, not enough skill. You come out of a mountain turn, hypothetically speaking, not saying I actually did this. You come out of a turn and you put your foot down thinking you're going to show up in front of a bunch of Japanese guys, local nationals, and you don't. You show off that you can really not learn. You don't know how to pick your foot up off the throttle. And then by the time you do, it's too late. You're kind of utilizing the inertia. That whole Jesus take the wheel thing probably would have helped me out back then if I learned how to let go of the wheel while drifting.
And you said you didn't get any paperwork from that or any.
No, that was literally what you see there is it crashed. That was probably 0200, 0230. And then it was towed back on base by, was it one of the JSG? Was it one of the JS? I think if I'm remembering correctly, one of the JSGs hooked us up with a tow truck, and they just pulled it back on base, and we pushed it into that spot.
So what was the when you come to the gate? Were you with the car or you?
I was with the car.
So what was the? Did you like show them your cat card and they like what the fuck?
We got on gate. You talking about when I got back to base?
Yeah, when they come through the gate with the car, like they were asking questions. Like,
keep in mind, I was camp guard at the time, so I was an augmented military police. So I got there, and they were just like, Sergeant of the Guard was like, "What did you just do?" I'm like, "I need to get this thing on base," and they were like, "Well, we can't let the tow truck on base." And I'm like, "All right, how are we gonna do this?" So we unloaded the car. The car ran enough to get to the spot. And it was, everything was rubbing, everything was making noise. I don't know if you can tell, but
it looked like the car is sitting like.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you could tell, but the passenger side rear wheel is ahead of the driver's side rear wheel.
God damn.
But yeah, so that's where it went, and that's where it stayed for a while, and then, if I'm not mistaken, that car sat there even after I PCS'd back to the States.
Man, I'm thinking about the trans and engine, man. Like, who the fuck got it? Because somebody probably billed it being them.
That's what happened. Somebody got that engine and transmission because it was in that spot when I PCS'd.
Yeah.
And
Damn,
then
that shit don't happen over here. You get the abandoned. You can't PCS until you get this virtual checklist now. So you got to get the card. And I bank off that because a lot of guys, for example, I got a chaser for $200. It needs some work, but it is what it is.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, back then it was all forms, and if your car was registered, especially being a Lance Corporal, you're not really supposed to have a car registered on base because you're not supposed to be driving in the Marine Corps. In the Air Force, it's different. You guys could be E1s and drive cars, but
Yeah.
no, you had to be an NCO, and I was definitely not an NCO, so the car was not mine officially.
So did the NCO who only got in trouble?
Well, he didn't own he only owned it according to the base. That's all he cared about. He was like, whatever. He's like, it's yours. And no one got in trouble. They were like, were you drinking? No. Okay, are you hurt? No. Okay, so PTs in the morning. I know.
Sounds about that's about military for everybody, man. Like you had a stroke. Like, can you walk? Cool, man. You're gonna be PTL.
Yeah, we got.
Did you go to UCC? Like, nah. When you go to UCC, then you're good. You're good to go, man. So speaking of that, man, my guy right here, like I said, he just broke his wrist snowboarding. That's what he told me, but
That's what he told you.
Yeah.
It's a masturbation
There's a lot of adult videos on Netflix.
I know of some weird guy on a snowboard.
Yeah. But no, man.
Snowboarding down some really fat white chick's ass.
Yeah. But yeah, man, they got that stuff, and so how's everything going with the drugs and stuff?
Well,
not like the drugs, but
he's busted.
Hey, how things go with the drugs and stuff?
I plead the fifth.
Off the record.
Yeah, man. Actually, slide over something, man, because it's like you're like Dave is like right behind you. So, but yeah, shit, we're at fucking 3 hours, man. Like I said, if anybody made it that long, and the little editing, man, they're invested fully, so it's all good. I'm not gonna edit shit. I'm just gonna because what I do, the way your screen is, what I do is I crop out. I crop out your image only because I gotta sync your audio because your audio is delayed by like 200 something milliseconds. So I try to play with it. It doesn't work. So anyway, I export your video, and then I lay your video over, then I slide your audio to the left or the right, to the left to line it up. So pretty much I'm just going to make a black box around it, and anything that happened in that box is going to happen, whatever. So I'm not going to, whatever, man. People I can make that shit as professional as fuck, and I'm going to get 200 views. So it's cool.
But hey, it's 200 views for now.
Yeah.
The consistency is what builds it up to 200.
And that's why I wanted to get you pull your mic over a little bit if it can't come over. But that's why I want to get you on there more because, like I say, we keep doing more of these, and then of course, by all means, you can definitely upload this to your own stream. You know what I mean?
But they can't all be 3-hour podcasts. Like
no. Well, the thing is, because we ain't talking so long, and then like, what time is it there?
It is 2300 almost. It's 22:56.
My bad, man. I'm gonna get you out of here. Plus, I got to do. I was supposed to be doing taxes 4 hours ago, so I got to do 6 months worth of taxes, and I got to submit those by Tuesday.
Wow. No pressure or anything.
No, I mean, because I've already done half. So sorry about that. The years prior, I did the whole year in one night. The whole 12 months of adding everything up that I spun, everything that I made. The making part is easy because my invoicing software calculates everything. Just highlight, so that's easy.
You guys not have late payment penalties?
I mean, you definitely want to get it in before. Like, I'm late. Well, after March 10, you get a payment or a penalty, but you're supposed to submit within by the end of January when they want it there because they want to go through it. So basically, what I do is I delay it because if there's any issues, they gotta like, all right, cool. So it's kind of like you wait a little bit longer, but that'll fuck you over because if something's wrong and 5 years down the road, they'll come back and say you owe this much money.
Yeah, and see that's the problem, and that's one of the things. Like in the U.S., if you make over a certain amount, which is not a whole lot, it amounts to like $15,000 a year of revenue.
Right.
If you do more than that, they almost require that you file quarterly.
Right. And that's what, with them, I want to start doing is they have a thing every 6 months. Well, every month you take them your notes. But, of course, I'm going to add my own shit up. I'm not going to leave it into the hands of somebody else I just don't want to do that for a small business. So
Right.
every month I'll take them my receipts and then it'll be like month instead of being a whole year at the end of the year. It'll be every month I'll take the stuff to them, and but it costs like a little bit more, but it's peace of mind, and they're already tracking. So when the last month comes in December, they're already done the last 11 months. That way I won't have any, because all the gaijin companies here that are legal, because I keep saying that the difference between me and the other ones, I'm legally registered. Like,
Right.
It's a lot of companies, a lot of gaijin business here, but they're running under somebody else's banner and they're not legal. And PayPal is getting dumb. He's had some issues with PayPal. And me, I'm probably about 2 more as a friend sending from getting blocked again and shit. So I don't keep any money in my pay. Like, how much money did you have in there when they blocked your shit?
Probably like what, $600.
I thought you had like grands in money.
Oh yeah, that was like 2,500 when I
like iced out. Like, I mean, that's just you couldn't.
That's a lot of porn. You can get it for
couldn't
$2,500.
touch it for like 6 months.
They couldn't send or receive, so we were doing that. And so PayPal went from being Witchcom to now is I do bank anything over $500. I'd make them do bank transfer now, because then you got people getting shit and then saying he didn't get it, and now
Right.
My buddy Alan, $3,500 or something like that. The guy, another guy, it was a lot of money, and the guy said he never got it. And then the dumb fuck was on social media advertising the kit that he just got that he didn't get. If that makes sense, yeah.
Well,
So it's needless to say, he sent the picture to PayPal, and they automatically overturned it and blocked the other guy. But
nice.
And gave
but
him
yeah,
money,
there was still that battle while they were still trying to settle that stuff
Right.
out. You have to deal with that crap.
Because PayPal went from being for the seller to now just like the seller, you're fucked.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
They side with the consumer, because that's what the consumer is using the service.
Yep.
So see I went from praising PayPal, man, to like the last couple of years, like there needs to be something else, man, because it's a critical part of the business. We use it a bunch. I owed you that $60 I paid you for like 3 months. I forgot to pay you, and that was all good. You didn't pressure me on that. And
Yeah,
everything.
no, I just didn't care. There was a point in time, like I got $60. It was like, hey, you just got money. I'm like, why did I get money?
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, I sent you that money. I'm like, oh.
I forgot what I put in the
Okay.
description. I put like some weird shit like some like nuclear fun, probably fucking like nuclear bomb parts or some shit. They're like,
This is
we
for
got
the meth.
the meth. Like you said, just like this is for the meth, and then like
Yes.
no periods.
Yes, please,
Yeah.
please don't knock on my door, ATF, please.
Yeah. But yeah, man, with all that shit going on, man, like they got the Zelle and they got all these other different programs, but PayPal is just king. And I didn't know Elon Musk was like part of PayPal and all that stuff. But now, eBay is the same way. eBay went from being affordable to now all these fees, and you sell a lot of shit. Now all of a sudden you're paying half of that is fees.
Dude, I sold my Miata on eBay, and I thought it was going to be like this real simple blah, blah, blah. It sold for $5,500, and they were like, okay, cool, you owe us $375.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I've already spent the fees. Like I've already spent the money. It's like the money's already gone.
I've
Then
already
it-
spent this money on PCP and hookers. What are you...
Yeah. Well, my PayPal account now, currently I got about as long as I've been there, I got 209 transactions all positive, and like about 5 or 6 where the motherfucker never left feedback. I'm trying like 5 years later, like, hey man, you might, it's been 5 years, you've already crashed your car. Can I get feedback on that shit or something?
It's been 5 years. You sold it,
Yeah.
bought it back, and sold
Yeah.
it again.
And still no feedback. But this PayPal account, this eBay is actually my second one, because the first one, remember when PayPal, they would pay it first and then you would pay them back?
Yeah.
That quickly went away because I bought a bunch of shit and I never paid for it. And yeah, so and they were like, so I bought I know it was a Megan.
Why is my credit score 4?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, it was a
single
Megan.
digit.
It was a Megan dual muffler for the 240. It was just a muffler. It wasn't the whole exhaust.
You bought a Megan muffler and didn't pay for it. It's like $80, dude.
Yeah, it was a Megan muffler, then a Megan cooler intake kit, and then the S13 Sleepy Eye.
That's not what they mean when they say you're sponsored, by the way, that you can just buy stuff and not pay for it. That's called stealing.
Anyway, after trying to get me to pay for the 6 months, they blocked the account, and then I opened up a new account. And that was my story from PayPal, man. So now, I mean, they don't even know that's the same guy. I make like $20K, $30K a year selling PayPal shit.
Nice.
But yeah, that was a pointless fucking story. But,
No, it was fun.
No, man, this guy, like you say, man, Dave is cool, man. He's one of the few guys where like when I put in like the topics, I'm just gonna put topics, everything. Like we just talk about fucking everything, man. So anyway, man, it's 2300 there.
Yes.
I don't know what time it is in Zulu time there.
+5.
+5, yeah. And it's again, it's like 11 or 12 something here. But anyway, man, like again, man, it's end of the podcast. But anything that you got, any social media stuff you want to plug, and I'll drop it down in the bottom.
Drift Taxi, as always. Right now, there's Drift Taxi makes money. Podcasts don't. So once the podcast start making money, I'll start plugging the podcast more. Yeah. But for now, if you guys want to experience some awesome drifting in giant cars that are way too big to be going sideways with 4 people, if you want to see me entertain 3 guys at the same time in the backseat of a Mercedes, check out Drift Taxi. TheDriftTaxi.com, Facebook.com/TheDriftTaxi. Drift Taxi on Twitter is Twitter.com/TheDriftTaxi. And we're on Instagram at @the_drift_taxi. And then check me out, Drift Taxi Dave. Look me up, you'll find me.
Well, definitely give me a actually I'll copy and paste from the last one. I'm pretty sure you got the same ones there, so I'll copy and paste because I don't remember half that shit.
Yeah, you
so
you follow me. Yeah. You just don't and you comment on my shit. So I mean,
yeah. Well, I just my bad too. The last 10 minutes we've been talking or 20, I just been shaming you because your picture was over my head and I forgot to close it out of you crashing the car, so it was just over my head while we were talking about like PayPal and shit. It's just sitting there and like.
This is what happens when you don't pay your eBay fees. Yeah. Somebody comes in and smashes your skyline. Pay your eBay fees.
Or it takes all those federally legal cars that's there right now. So
oh my god!
Definitely let me know, man. I know you got you definitely worked yourself and not people I know give you shit about the Porsche and the Mercedes and again they don't know when you talked to me 4 or 5 years ago when you were like in that point where you were like, what the fuck, man? I got let go from this place. They downsized. And I was like, dude, man, I know for you, man, you're charismatic. The shit would turn around and it did for you. And
I just kept working. That's you have that setback. You have that failure. And you say, okay, this is not who I am.
Right.
I'm going to do better for myself.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's all, man. I did.
And people don't see it, man, because sitting here right now, just upgraded to a shop within 3 years. 5 years ago, man, I was in the fucking house. Well, 5.5 years ago, I was in a house. I was being heated by a fucking propane heater I was using to heat myself, which is daily. And I was like, I didn't fucking die and shit, But that's, and I had kerosene, but I didn't want to use it because I didn't want to pay the bill. So
right.
And people when they come here, man, they don't see there's no fucking handouts. Only guy that gets hooked up here is this guy right here because he helps. I mean, he's been against behind the scenes, but he's been critical. Like a lot of those wheels you guys out there get. This guy, it's Kwann Taylor. That's the guy right here. Because I can't put my name on it because they're like, who the fuck's this guy? Who the fuck's Pinku style? So he's been the guy shipping a lot of your stuff that's come from USPS and everything, and so he's been agreeing he's about to leave. So unfortunately, after he leaves, I'm at to I probably had to get another guy, but I don't because I didn't post it online.
Yep.
But I didn't post it online because I've actually showed up and it worked. But
what in the world is that?
I got the access to base again. I got a.
No, wait, stop. What? Did you just pull a whole Goodyear tire out of your back pocket?
No, they got rent money in there, man.
Yeah. For 8 years. What did you just pull out of your pocket, man?
I had the critical cards, man. I got the other 20 sitting downstairs, but mostly my point. Japan is full of point cards and shit, and stuff like that. But no, I mean, I got my for people watching. The only people know this 3 hours in, so they're not gonna get this far. But I got my DOD from one thing that started from the I'm 80% disability rating. You haven't done yours yet, have you?
Not yet, no.
You need, do you like it's money? Do you? I mean, I know you make.
I know.
I know you make enough money to have a Porsche shit. You know what I'm saying? So, what I mean, but still.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
No, I know. I need to do it. Everybody I've talked to has gotten 5 digits back. So
it's easy, man. It's easy. The hardest part is scanning all your medical shit in, after the application part is like an hour, and you submit, and it's all e-benefits is like this shit's modern, man. Like it's nice. It's not HTML. It's not Flash. It's nice fucking stuff.
Okay.
And you just upload all your stuff, and they do a error check, and some stuff's redundant, but you hour your time. That's like, that's one episode of Power or whatever the fuck you watch. and for you, like Harry Potter stuff or whatever, man.
Wow. So this stream has just ended for those who are watching.
But anyway, man, I definitely, for all my vet guys out there, definitely do your rating, because you're going to get something back. And like for the I think you had to be 10%, and you can get on base. And that's a new thing worldwide. Japan was a little bit different, so I had my card as a dependence card. So I went from not being able to access base without Kwann for like the last 4 years to now the last 3 days I've been on base for various shit. And now cool. And also I can sign my car on. So I get a vehicle pass, and I can actually drive my Japanese car on the base. So it's pretty cool. And now like I had a few guys who sent me like racy emails, and I seen them at the seen one guy at the shop at, no shit, true story. I got no reason to lie about it. I seen a guy at the shop at, or whatever you guys call it, the PX in the Marines.
Yeah, PX, yeah.
Or whatever the fuck you call it.
A shop at.
Shop at. It's like
sounds like a stripper.
So the shop at or the DFAC or the dining facility or whatever you guys call it, chow hall, Christ. Mess hall.
Stop
it. The MREs are the same. MREs are the same, by the way. For Marines, it's not the different. It's the same fucking shit. So anyway, man, I was at the PX, and the guy sent me like an email, and like I knew the guy, and like the guy when he seen me, like, cause he know I can't go on base. I tell the guys I can't go on base. So he seen me, dude, and like how you for the white guys, how they do it, man. How do white guys do the head now, up or down, Dave?
The white guys are down.
Down?
Like,
so the white guys like you
go
like
down. Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy. He said Trevor, Jeremy. But so they go down, so this motherfucker didn't know whether to go. So he was just going like this. He was like giving me like, he didn't know what to do. And I didn't fucking say nothing to him, because I'm like, dude, I could smash your fucking face in water Owl 5 right now. And like where the cheese is.
Can of peas.
Yeah, he was like, dude, you should see his face. Because he sent me an email, like kind of a racy email, because I was saying pretty much, you find the parts and I order it, and he was like, well, thanks for your service, or some shit like that. And maybe he really was thanking me for my service, and I took it. He said, thanks for your service. I took it the wrong way. Maybe he didn't put exclamation marks, so maybe it's just me overreacting. I don't know. Maybe, what do you think?
It probably was that time of the month for you. You're probably menstruating pretty hard.
Yeah. But anyway, man, like when now I can get on base now. So if there's an issue, which I don't deal with slander well, people. I'm a single business. Facebook and Microsoft for their shitty Windows 10 and Windows Millennium Edition, they get slandered all the time. But they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yep.
One person's not gonna make a difference. For me, one person running around town running their fucking mouth does make a difference for me. And if I know I'm doing everything proper, which I do, because my customers back me up, and he sent me some screenshots. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit. Then I'll read it, and all my customers like, dude, well, you're a fucking idiot. What are you talking about?
I don't want to see that shit. Let me read this motherfucker.
Yeah. So the customers would like kind of like, back me up and say things, and like, he's good to go and stuff like that. And anyway, I would get with a guy to see like, hey man, what's the deal? What's going on? Why are you saying this? And I couldn't do that before, but now I can go on base and do that. So that's pretty cool. And don't get it twisted. I'm not going to jeopardize my going on base to like punch somebody in the face like that. That would be bad for everybody. And for me, multiple ways. So it's just, I'm not going to allow nobody to talk shit about me or my shop when I know I'm doing processes properly. But again, another pointless conversation, a topic that I just talked about for the last 5 minutes. So there you go, end on that, man.
Yeah, wow, that's what a way to end on. Okay, cool. Let's just
it was just
let's
positive.
roll with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're ending on that.
It was positive and fun the whole time, and then like just like brought it down, like downer and shit.
I know, man. You're like,
but again, if somebody made it, if
laughing
they made it,
and joking, and then that's what you bring us out on.
Well, yeah, man. Again, if somebody made it 3 hours in, they're fully invested to whatever.
I'm glad I drink.
Yeah. But all right, man. Hey, Dave, again, man. Thanks for stopping in. This is definitely, it's not like, just see you later, because we're gonna do this more. We'll try to. What I want to do is, I said on the messenger I didn't want to do the whole set shit, but the format. There's guys that like the shit where I just post any day, and then there'll be people who will look out for a Tuesday morning or whatever. So I do want to try to get that format going with you. It'll be like maybe 45 minutes to an hour hit.
Yeah.
And we'll have topics to talk about or recent stuff or, when Richard Lewis Hamilton, whatever his name is.
Wow. Stop that. Just continue on.
Yeah. I call it Richard Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton, whatever. But yeah, man, we'll definitely do that. We'll talk about it offline. And do all that stuff and do that, man. So again, Dave, thanks for stopping in, man. And everybody, make sure you got your. Make sure I put my. So
Your
this is,
Corona
you put a
mask
mask
on
on this way. And you put it over your ears and shit. So like people who had the fucking mask like they tied the fucking knots behind their head. like
Jesus Christ!
Like you need to fucking get corona and die, man, because you're just fucking stupid.
You're gonna get corona and die.
Yeah. Like
Sage advice.
Like it goes around your ears. They don't tie it together in the back, and then the mask is tight as shit. It's like people wearing the reflective belts in the army, like tight as fuck around their waist. Like just loosen that shit up, man. You know how the army got to wear. Marines got to do it too, right? They got to wear it for PT. You got to wear
the glowworm.
You already got reflective shit on, and we got to make sure we see you. And
otherwise, people won't see us, and we'll die.
Yeah, yeah. Or you get the silver bullet when you pass out.
I mean, I used to look forward to that, but that's just me.
But all right, Dave, again, man, thanks for coming in, man. It's going to be Donald Jackson, Donald and Kwann, and David signing out from Pinku Style. Again, I don't know the episode number, so I'll just put up with the episode number. So again,
I want the screenshot to be me doing like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, go ahead. All right, man. I'm gonna get out. So I'm gonna go and get out here. It'll be the salute again. And thank you guys for tuning in for 3 hours. And I'll see you guys later.